What's good, party people? My name is Chris Anthony Lopez, and welcome to another episode of Schmoe Me the Real. Joining me for the first time in a long time, his name is Brandon Buckingham. But
no. We need to flip that. It's you joining me because you don't do any. You haven't done anything besides work your actual job for like the last 6 weeks. You've been a very busy guy. I've been here.
You have. You've been on Schmoe Me the Real.
You are joining me back on Schmoe Me the Real. But
you know what?
First thing I think we need to do you have any hookups with local law enforcement? Because we need to report a goddamn murder. Robert Parker better be good at hiding because the way he just murdered Saul. Saul didn't even last 4 rounds. He lasted 3.5. So it was brutal. Like
off the
Saul,
bat.
What happened, my dude?
So let's first of all context, right? Context. Inner Geekdom finals tournament. It was this whole thing. Both guys had great runs leading up to this point, and this is a great matchup on paper. And I mean, the match didn't show that, but it was a great match on paper. And Robert Parker in this one, he wants blood. Obviously, someone needs to stop this man from actually killing somebody next.
I think Shug has a question for you in the chat. He's asking, is this a new?
What's up, Shug in the chat? Is Chris in a new place? Yes, I am. I'm in a new place. In a new place, we're good. Everything's fine. I'm gonna have a couple different setups as we go until I get properly situated. But you know what? We'll get there when we get there. So shout out to all the peeps in the chat. William Harold, I see you. Polaris Bro 99, I see you in the chat. But this is okay. We're only talking about the one match. We're only talking about the pay-per-view.
Because it was only one match pay-per-view. So I mean, I guess we could talk about the other matches throughout the week, but
we can.
I haven't watched the one from earlier today. That's the problem.
There was the Wednesday and the Viviani and Natalia Lieberman. Granted, I had that match spoiled for me on the Facebook group. Real ironic, right? It was a spoiler post. It showed the one comment. The one comment's all I needed to see. Yeah. But the pay-per-view match itself, for Robert Parker, this was something that I mean, I've been a fan of his for a minute now. Same with Saul. I like Saul. Saul, people, may not be fans of his character or whatever he's doing, but I like Saul as a competitor. Plus, he gets it. He actually gets the whole game and the whole presentation.
He does get the whole gimmick. That's one thing I think Christian loves about Saul is he gets it.
And not too many people get to do that. I see you, Sean Wingblade, in the chat. Congratulations on the dub, Wingblade. I saw that. What up, fam? Ready to talk that one match? Ready to talk FCL? Let's go. We can talk some FCL too. Specifically Sean Wingblade and how great he's doing.
I didn't watch the match. I just followed the Twitter thread and I saw that my boy Gundam won. I was like, let's go. Let's go, Gundam.
Man. Yeah, shout out to Sean Wingblade.
I believe he's 2-1 in the FCL.
We're killing it. Doing a great job,
I would love to see Sean in the main Schmoedown.
Well, maybe.
He does live in California. He lives in Northern California, but he lives in California.
So counts.
Yeah.
So, you know what? And shout out to more people in the chat. Leo Logan, I see you. Jeremy Miller, what's good? Leo Logan says, Saul is 0-2 in front of an audience. Nobody expected the outcome to go that way. Right. That's another thing that we have to take into consideration is maybe the performance just doesn't cross over into live crowds. Because what was the final score? 24-11.
24-11.
So, which is that's harsh.
I didn't come up with this. I was told this by somebody else.
As I eat my Hershey Kisses, please go ahead.
Jacob Whitnaben in his first match scored just as many points as Saul did in this match in 3.5 rounds. Oh man, it's so.
Look, first of all,
it wasn't his day. It wasn't Saul's day. Got 6 points in round 1. The thing that hurt him, he lost 6 points in steals to Parker for swashbuckling.
Yeah, that second round so made the difference. And swashbuckling adventure, The second that category got introduced in the Schmoedown in general, and Inner Geekdom, I'm like, that's a hellhole. At least for me, just watching the thing. Like how I have my gripes with legal dramas and courtroom thrillers, whatever the hell it's called. But there's that swashbuckling adventure category rubs me the wrong way. And some folks are really good at it. Saul, confident going into his stuff. Granted, Saul just has his confidence just in matches in general, whether he's playing Parker or the damn Real Rejects. But 6 points in steals is rough, especially when you spin first. When you're the first person to spin, and Parker was up, I don't even know how many points he was up, like 6?
He was up by, hold on. He had 8. He got 14. Saul had 8 points. So he was up by 6.
And Parker hadn't even spun yet. I was sitting on my couch watching this match, and I was, going down 2 points from Saul's POV going into the second round isn't bad.
No.
It's not bad.
Especially with a 5-rounder match, you can make that up easily throughout the betting and speed round. So that's not the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's just funny because at the beginning of the match, he did lead the league in steals, and he got 6 points.
The Ricky Henderson of the movie trivia.
He's just like I know it's just ironic that it happened, but like a 12-point swing.
Yeah, Shaw pointing it out in the chat. And it's rough, especially when you're facing someone like Robert Parker, who's had this vendetta against the entire Inner Geekdom division. And really just against the entire Schmoedown. Like what fans and competitors included, like, y'all counted me out. Y'all saw my few performances last year and thought I was this. Ha, ha, ha. Now I'm better than your favorite person, whoever they are. And performances like the one we saw tonight, prove that. Now, Parker's nothing to scoff at. Like, and I was one of them. I was one of the guys. I was like, yo, is Parker really that good? Is he that good? And then,
so the thing is, he's had a lot of big time matches that he just, like, against Chance, he didn't have a good day. Against Chandru earlier this year, didn't have a good day.
Mm-hmm.
This was, I think, the true part. Like, once we see Parker is on his A game, he's tough to beat. Right. He got to this with this win. He got to the spot where he wants to be, and that's to hold the IG belt. He will be playing for the IG belt at Spectacular on December 4th at the Globe Theater in Los Angeles, California, where we will be.
That's one hell of a promo, Buck. Holy God. That was one hell of a shit. I like that. We will be there. All of us, the entire Schmoe Me the Real crew, those present and those not present, we will be at the Globe Theater that day watching some Spectacular. So if you're going to be there, come say hi. Suge might bite you, but the rest of us won't. So it's going to be a good time.
Suge is like a little puppy. He just barks. He barks really, really loud. So you give him a treat or you rub his belly, you'll be good to go.
Especially rub his belly. He'd like that. Back to the match. We talk about it from Saul's POV enough, but from Parker's, like, this is also very validating, like another validating W in his arsenal. And now you're going to go and face the winner of either Kalinowski or Alberto Moses.
Which was filmed the same day at the Cantina. So
it's going to be one hell of a show. Suge Knight in the chat. What's up, Suge? WTF, Buck? I know
you have the link. You have the link. If you don't like what I'm saying, come on in.
And for those wondering, we will be joined by John Kaiser about 20 some minutes. He has other obligations, which that happens. These movie trivia people are awfully busy on nights like these.
Yeah, I want to get his honest thoughts on Saul's performance.
I want John Kaiser unfiltered, unadulterated.
Let's go.
Like what he couldn't say at the Cantina that day.
Exactly, because it was a tape match, so we had to be somewhat family friendly.
You gotta be nice. You gotta be nice.
But we got Alan Smithy in the chat, who I'm pretty sure has been at every single taping.
Was good.
I'm almost certain that the director has been, because he was the one I was at. I saw him on the screen for this match. So yeah, I'm almost pretty sure he was there. Yeah, Dum Dum number 3. That was pretty great for Jed. I love that.
Yeah,
Jed.
Kaiser. Suge saying in the chat, Kaiser was amazing live. Suge at said tapings at the cantina that day. And shout out to Suge for keeping his mouth shut. I want to hear any spoilers from that day. Lord knows. But
see, that's what I have Jeff for. Jeff has all the links. So if
Jeff has the hookup.
Jeff has the hookup. So if I don't want to wait or be stressed out about outcomes of matches, I'll just reach out. I was like, Jeff, so what happened in this match? My emotions cannot handle to hear back. Like, I heard the day that Bateman lost to Freddy, I was like, oh my gosh.
That was, shout out to them too.
Brian, that is a great one.
Brian in the chat. Alan Smithy's at every taping. It's like Timson popping up at the key. Part of the
when they were doing, because they just stopped doing them, which I'm fine with. I'm like, that just because it's a pay-per-view doesn't mean it has to be live. For me, pay-per-view just means you're paying to watch a high-intensity match.
And especially like the next pay-per-view, Christian had he released a schedule for it, I think it was yesterday or a couple days ago, and he said at the end of this, we're getting Moses and Kalinowski main event, and then the undercard's going to be Rager and Alvarez. So that's going to be one hell of a show over there at the Cantina.
Now, but that's not next week, though.
It's not next
2 weeks because we know what next week's pay-per-view is, the New York live event. So let's go.
Is that live? Are they going to live stream that?
I'm going to assume so. I swear to God, Christian, please let.
Is that the vibe? Because I read and if someone in the chat can correct me whether I'm right or wrong, I'm pretty sure something was worded away where they said it was going to be live streamed, which would be one hell of a way to do these shows going forward. And apparently, the last New York live event that we're going to be getting for a while. So I apologize for my New York friends.
Did say that there would be none there in 2022. Again, he can always change his mind.
Right.
Say things get better. I think he's disappointed that the tickets did not sell the way that he thought they were going to for the New York live event.
And I went and double checked because out of curiosity, I wanted to go to the show. We won't be at the show, Bucker myself, unfortunately. But I want to see.
Jeff will be there.
Quiz show will be there. Yes, he will.
He will represent us.
That son of a gun who's currently in Orlando. He's over there with our buddies from What the Show and like Chance Ellison.
Chance is there. Matt, I think Jake Iacovetta's down there. I think Maxwell.
Yeah.
There's.
It's a party in Orlando. Holy hell.
Mike asked me like 4 months ago to come out for that.
Oh,
but at the time, I had just started a new job and I didn't know if I could get the time off. And then I looked at flights, and based on what I was getting off, I would have to take a red eye. So leave like stupid early Saturday morning and come back Sunday night. I'm like, it's just not worth it. And I was thinking about doing the same thing for New York, and I'm just like, it's just not a smart idea. So I'll just save my money for Spectacular.
Damn right. And we're gonna burn the whole city down. It's gonna be so rad. Shout out to all our folks in the chat. Brian in chat saying he wasn't happy with ticket sales. That's been the general assumption. Buck just said it, and I think that's what people have been talking about, like on the subreddit, the Facebook page.
He did offer a special today for a buy one get one free because
go for the birthday. Happy birthday, Christian Harloff.
Yes, to the chairman, Christian George Harloff. Happy birthday! Thanks for giving us this amazing thing known as the movie trivia Schmoe. But no, Saul it just wasn't his day. I think the next time he has a match at a live event or a live taping is going to be huge for him. It's like he's going to have to show, is he just an online match competitor? Like, is that where he's just going to dominate? Or is it like, do the nerves get to him when he's there? Based on his personality, I say no. I just think he's had two bad days. Just 2 days where things just didn't go his way. He went up against two fantastic competitors in Amaru Moses and Robert Parker. So it's not like he was playing people that weren't very good. They were two very good competitors.
Right.
And they both were on their A game that day. So
right. And not only is Saul having a hard time, the Den.
Our resident Den shill.
Our resident Den shill.
Is not doing very well right now.
And look, I know on Spin from the Real every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, I give Shook a lot of hate, a lot of shit for his love of the Den. I don't dislike the Den.
They have the Star Wars champion, so that is something
they do have. Love me some Thomas Harper. Like I said, Kate Mulligan is somebody who it took the fan base a minute to fully embrace Kate as part of the Schmoedown, and I'm glad that we did. I want to see more of her going forward.
I think Kate's awesome. First of all, she's hilarious.
She's so rad. I forgot what Mark said during the match, but it got her to crack the fuck up, and she was cracking up for a minute behind Saul. It was funny to see. Brian in the chat.
I was gonna bring this up. This is ridiculous. The fact is, every match in the tournament was a TKO, and the tournament ends with a knockout.
I mean, it's kind of poetic if you think about it in a certain way.
That's amazing to me.
Inner Geekdom is hella strong, and I didn't see this video. I saw someone recap it on the subreddit, so shout out to them. But apparently Christian had a Q&A talking about some Schmoedown stuff a couple days ago, or maybe it's last week. I don't remember. But he said there's going to be fewer Star Wars matches and Inner Geekdom matches next year because of the restrictions.
Yeah, and just because also I think a lot of the Inner Geekdom and Star Wars competitors are not local to Los Angeles.
That too. Right.
So,
and I know a lot of folks aren't too happy with reverting back to what the Schmoedown was pre-Pandy, because over the last year and a half, a little bit more than a year and a half, but over the last 18 months or so, we've gotten so acclimated to doing everything digitally. And the match quality, we've seen some of the best matches ever in the last 18 months.
Yeah.
Some of the best matches the Schmoedown's ever
had. I said it right.
Malanta
and Damon won.
Yes.
I know it's an online match. Christian has blatantly said how much he does not like digital online matches.
Mm-hmm.
But personally, it is the best match in Schmoedown history, in my opinion. I know the questions were not up to par. So some people may hold that up against it, but 51-50. That's going to be my pick for awards for match of the year. I don't care if the questions were not very difficult, but the fact is they went perfect for that long is spectacular to watch to me.
I mean, I agreed. I would have agreed with you up until Kalinowski Dandapani happened, and I think the match being in person and the story behind that and the banter between the two of them and the whether it's genuine or not, the disdain they had towards each other, and plus I like the theatrics of the Schmoedown. I've said it.
I was there too,
right? And you got to see that magical match that I watched on my phone on a train. It wasn't that great, but at least watching it. But the actual match itself is spectacular to me, pun intended. So Di Malanta and Damon for sure. If it's not the best match ever, it's definitely the best Star Wars match ever.
Oh, hands down the best Star Wars match.
And I was a big Whitwer knapsack guy, and I low key still might be depending on what day you ask me. But Di Malanta Damon is where the party's at. Definitely what's going on. Brian in the chat. Not that one. I mean, Sugar in the chat. Thomas is the only thing keeping me from drowning my sorrows and cheap beer and
I thought you said you weren't gonna drink Jaeger anymore because last time you had the worst hangover of your life.
He said that we're gonna do we're gonna drink Jaeger Spectacular when we're out in California for God knows how long.
Yeah, no.
And by we I mean probably just Sugar and I. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Leo Logan in the chat. Den now only has Harper and the old guard for the rest of the season. And if you ask me, the old guard's gonna be out round one. But we'll see.
No comment.
Brian in the chat. This is the comment I want to bring up. Do you see Saul staying with Kate next season? Of course. Yes. I think it's mutually beneficial. I don't know how they're going to do factions, though.
He is still top 5, probably best IG player in the division. She gets to keep, 5 competitors?
Is that what they're doing?
I don't know, to be honest.
I was under the impression that there's going to be no factions and that there would just be like, I mean, by factions, I mean how we've had it the last 2 seasons. But go back to the old Lion's Den and corruption when it was like a little clique, not really 10 people in one little. It's not the NWO, That's where my mind was going. But I mean, if they can, then I would love for Saul to stay with Kate. It would definitely be mutually beneficial for the both of them. I think they bring out the best in each other. William Harold says that 51-50. And have both guys winning at some point. The moments at the end with the challenge with DiMolanta. And that was a great moment. Great, like heart dropped. God, that match is so good. Brian in the chat. Damon versus DiMolanta was my pick for match of the year for a while, but now Kalinowski versus Chandler is my favorite match of the year. That's me, brother. That's me. And I see you, Brian. You were in the Spin from the Real chat saying the same thing. You already know what's good. Mike Deacon, what's good, Mike? This is the best after show ever. No Jeff. No,
because he's probably sitting right next to you, Deacon. I swear. I bet he's sitting right next to you.
Jeff.
No Jeff show. No more Jeff show.
No more Jeff show. Shut up, Mike. From Jeff in the chat. Jeremy Miller says that Whitworth Knapsack is my second. I'm assuming second best match ever. Which
the way that one ends is still controversial to some people.
I remember. I'm still cool with it. I'm still cool with how that match ended because I remember I showed the Schmoe to a few people, and that's the match I showed them was Knapsack Whitworth, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is so cool."
I think for me it's always going to be Guy versus Merle. Because the only problem with Knapsack versus Whitworth is it's an Iron Man match, so it's not the
regular format.
It's not the regular format, and I think the singles division is always going to be tier 1 when it comes to the Schmoedown. Like the singles belt is the most sought after belt in the Schmoedown, so I feel like if you're going to show them. Either that or maybe show them Campia Merle because that's kind of the first match of the current era.
A lot of people cite that as their first match they've ever seen.
It was mine.
Yeah, there you go. Like it's
seasons. Like I've gone back, watched seasons 1 and 2. It's
fun.
It's a segment on a podcast. It's not.
Of course, yeah, because exactly that's what it was at the time.
It was. And just like season 1 was just straight singles. Season 2 was just straight teams. So, and they didn't really introduce Inner Geekdom and Star Wars till about season 4, I believe. So I think the first. Yeah. Good luck. Good luck trying to watch every match because that might take you a while.
Yeah, especially for folks that are trying to do that, good on y'all.
Yeah, that would be tough. I mean, personally, I don't think I could do it if I had to go back and rewatch all the matches. Because you got to think, do you want to watch the match part or you want to watch the whole video with all the promos and the storylines? If you just want to watch the matches, you can knock them out pretty. I think you can watch a match in about 12 minutes.
Oh yeah, just
if you start when they ask the first question in round 1 and just stop when they say "and your winner." I think it's about 12 minutes. So you can knock them out pretty quickly if you do it that way. But if you want to understand the Schmoedown in general, the whole overarching thing, you're going to want to watch the whole entire video. So that's probably 35, 40 minutes per video. And you think, God, there's been several hundred. I wonder if we've reached 1,000 total matches.
That's a great question. If we've reached 1,000 matches yet. And if not,
Hey, Leo Logan, can you?
My best friend.
Leo, if you have that stat
of how
many total matches,
I love that. Shout out to Leo Logan.
The Schmoedown, that would I would just be like, how do you?
The 1000th match has to be a big deal.
And if we haven't gotten there yet, if we have because you got to think we're 8 seasons, and I feel like each season we are getting more and more matches.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be interesting to go back and actually see how many total matches has there been. I could go on the Schmoedown wiki, count each season, but then I'm like, but there's a human error and I might miscalculate. So no, I'll ask. You know what? I might tweet out. Hey, Frank, how many total Schmoedown matches have there been to almost 8 seasons?
Everything, not counting the exhibition matches, just straight canon. How many Schmoedown matches have there been? And if we haven't hit 1,000 yet, I want 1,000 to be like Makuga Dewberry 2. I don't want because if you ask people, what do you want the 1,000th Schmoedown match to be? People are gonna be like, oh, Mark versus Christian, Merle versus anybody, Roka being anybody,
Guy v Merle 2. Guy v Merle 2. Let's go.
Guy v Merle 2. Live in at the Globe Theater, Spectacular 7. Let's do it. Just to spotlight a few comments in the chat. Sean Wingblade, I played Jaeger Bomb Pong once. Oh boy, that's a bad idea. That sounds incredible, Sean. Count me in.
My head hurts just thinking about that.
Shug is going to get White Boy Wasted with Sean Wingblade. Count me in, as I said. Christian said it will still be factions, but 5 per team. Okay, cool. So, Buck, you're on the song. 5-person factions.
No. Okay, bring up Brian's last comment, please. I got it.
Roka versus somebody in the 4th.
No,
he's married to that.
This whole thing with Roka is stupid.
Buck.
Stupid. He
please.
has not earned the right this season to have a match at Spectacular. The Spectacular is the Super Bowl of the Schmoedown, and it should only be for people that have earned it this season. Yes, I know Roka is the leak. Without Roka, there is no Schmoedown because of the character aspect. But no, I do not want Roka to have a match at Spectacular. Just retire right off in the sunset so we can freaking forget about you. You
Brandon!
Egotistical baby, little petty ass child.
Brandon! What are you doing? Why are you so mad?
Because the whole thing was a gimmick, and I fucking hate it.
Oh,
I hate it. It was executed so poorly. I don't care if Christian watches this or Roka watches this. I don't want Roka. If Roka has a match at Spectacular, I might get up and walk out.
Shut up, Brandon. Get out of here. My man's out here tripping. First of all, Brandon, I love the passion you have behind how you feel, and you're more than entitled to that. I love it. I love how strong you feel about this, but I couldn't disagree with you any more than I already have. On Monday.
This is Roga.
Yeah,
what's that?
Leo
no one would watch. Everyone would be like, who is this
mofo?
They'd be like, who is this
I'll buy 2 tickets to New York and just give them to somebody. I'll buy 4. No, I'll buy 6 just so you can play Rook and Spectacular in the 4th match. It has to be the 4th match.
No, I wouldn't do that to people. I want people to have a fun time at Spectacular.
Okay, so Buck, to respond to that, because I'm assuming this has been your first time on a Schmoedown related program.
Yes,
since
that announcement.
Got hot.
By the way, Christian's GIF reaction to that was awesome. I loved it. He was just be like, no.
So, Brandon, I hate to burst your bubble, but it's totally gonna happen, and I know. It should totally happen.
Who is he gonna play?
You have options. You definitely have options. The more realistic options are Merle and Harloff. Those are the 2 most, they make sense. If they want to go with story, Merle, after what Roka said about Merle last year at Spectacular, it would make sense to end it there. Harloff, because, he called out Christian directly, so might as well go after the man himself. But personally, there'd be some other fun ones. Brian mentioned one, Mance. I should say, I would love to see Mark Riley. Someone had mentioned that on Spin from the Reel on Monday, or like a Clark Wolf, Jeff Snyder, if he wants to have one more. I know he retired a month or two ago, but it'd be fun for him to have one more in front of a live crowd and both of them go out on their high horses. But yes, Sean perfectly encapsulated how I feel at this moment. Brandon Buckingham speaks for Brandon. His views are his own and are not an indication of this channel's views or mine. So just to put that out there as the truck drives by my house. But William says, Buck, it's like the WrestleMania match that they scheduled knowing everyone needs a bathroom break. It's the bathroom break. It's the piss break match at WrestleMania. I genuinely think that if Roca were to get the match, which we all think he will, and whoever he plays, it'll be a big deal match just because it's Roca's last
he's
ride.
Gonna retire anyway. What's the point of having the match?
And it's his swan song. To use some wrestling verbiage, right? If you're gonna have somebody
Also, no, I gotta say this.
The
Christian talks you out of being in the singles tournament. Fucking bullshit. You are a grown-ass man. Another man is not going to convince you to not be in the singles tournament. It was either you or Gucci decided not have you be in the singles tournament.
You're so
I know it's
hot.
a gimmick. I know it's a gimmick, but I still find it stupid.
I think it makes sense.
Stupid.
I was buying it, you know. I didn't hate the live stream as much as Buck or anybody else did.
Dude, he dragged it out for like 40 minutes.
And I muted the damn thing until the chat started losing their mind, and then I unmuted it and I was listening. I was real attentive. William Harold has a great idea. Roca losing the quiz show outside the venue at the Expo is the way to go. Yeah, have Jeff play him at the Fan Expo right before. But still have there be 5 matches and have that match be 4th. I'll play Shug in a Blue Chips only movie trivia match, and then we'll do that. Brian says, who will get the Yodi then, Jeff or Roca? Roca until this ambulance drives by. JTE carried Rushmore. Yeah. The wheel slices from their second rounds favor JTE more in that tournament, for sure. There are four better players in the exchange than him. That's not the point. That's not it though. Like I totally understand that there are better players to put, like Khan, Nooms, Lieberman, and why am I blanking on the last one? Khan, Lieberman, Nooms. And who is the 4th player? Why am I forgetting?
Craig,
Barbarian. Thank you. So
Joseph, I wasn't gonna bring that up, but
and I'm not gonna pull up that comment because not gonna talk about that Joseph Burrows. Even though I see you in the chat was good, Joseph. But Buck also. Oh no, Sean also saying, Buck, I hear what you're saying as far as wins and losses. He didn't earn the spot on paper as it's usually reserved for title matches, etc. But in all fairness, he's been playing very well. He's been playing well. I wouldn't go that far, Sean, but I appreciate that. Brian with another great idea. Brian, the great idea is Roca versus Bateman in the Star Wars match. 60 days. And I mean, Bateman has some free time now in regards to singles. We'll see how teams goes. But I'm okay. But to rehash my thoughts from Monday, yes, and Buck, you'd alluded to it. Without Roca, we don't know where we would be at in regards to character work in the Schmoedown if we ever did any.
Character work, yes. He is the GOAT when it comes to character work.
And I will go as far as saying, because I know some folks on other shows or other mediums or other posts or whatever the hell, people have been talking about how the trivia is more important than the character work. And I couldn't disagree with that any more than I already did.
I think it's 50-50.
It has to be 50-50 for it to work. Because as much as I love Adam Collins and Dan Murrow in an exhibition match, just going trivia question for question, it's not as entertaining as what it would be like with stakes and with corruption behind Collins and the dungeon behind Dan Murrell. It's not as entertaining as that would be. It's cool. I like both those guys. I love both those guys, but it's not the same. The character is just as important as the trivia and our opinions. But some other folks may feel differently. But like that's why Christian hates digital so much, because you can't do any damn character work on it. We've had people come on our show.
Oh my god! If you try to do a cutscene like we're doing here, boring. Even though we did have that one cutscene with the dungeon and Finstock exchange, they just kept bringing on people.
That was chaotic as hell.
That was pretty funny. I feel like that was the last good scene that we had.
I mean, pure weird.
We did have a scene before today's pay-per-view where Wit runs off. As soon as Kaiser gets there, he's gone. Just books it. He's gone.
As much as I love Adam Witt. Adam Witt didn't have the best record managing the dungeon this year, so maybe it's a good thing that John Kaiser was there for Robert Parker. But it was cool to see the cutscene. I was surprised.
Did Kaiser manage Parker when he played Chandru? I can't even remember that far back.
I can't remember what happened 2 weeks ago, let alone
it's because you're working
6 months ago.
It's because you're working so much.
I'm a busy guy, and I now that I'm settled, or I'm getting settled in my new space, it's gonna be a good time. But that's besides the point. The cutscene itself, I was shocked to see that. Like just in general, because I know we strayed away from cutscenes and stories, or just having some fun before or in between or after matches. I was so happy, and I was elated to almost see it. Yeah. Because it's guys that get it, Is Adam Witt another guy that gets it? Kaiser, someone that gets it, and Robert Parker, he's another dude that also gets the gist of what's going on, but he's a great straight man for the two of them just to go nuts. Kaiser versus Witt, battle for who controls the dungeon.
The only problem is Kaiser's not a trivia player, so Witt, I think, would win that easily. I would rather see that at Spectacular than a Roka match.
Oh my god, you're stop being such a Roka hater, dude. Like I don't.
Sorry, I can't help it. I don't like the man. I don't like the man or the character.
Sheesh.
Oh, also another thing from his announcement. The fact that he was the outlaw, so he can do whatever he says or please. No, that's not. You can't hide behind a character. You can't be a dick and say, "Oh, I was the outlaw, not John Roka, so it wasn't actually me." Roka, you're not that good of an actor. If you were, you would not be in the Schmoe.
No,
you would be in movies and TV.
Oh, why you gotta say that, man?
Because I know he's never gonna see this or care. So I can say whatever the hell I want.
I think it's before the show, Buck, when we were chatting, I said like we're gonna be joined shortly by Mr. John Kaiser, who said his name like 50 times. So he should be popping up in here like Beetlejuice. But I said like I want like unadulterated, uncensored. I might have said this earlier, but little did I know I was gonna get uncensored, unadulterated Brandon Buckingham tonight. I didn't know that. Like I'm away for Schmoe Me the Real for 2 months, and you just go nuts. And my man, you're fed up with all this bullshit.
Watch this. Tired of it. Watch me check my Twitter in a few days, and Roka has me blocked.
I mean, that'd be funny as hell. It's like I don't know what'd be more surprising, if he blocked you or that he somehow watched this.
He watched the whole video to see that I was dragging his name through the mud.
Jeremy Miller in the chat talking about how that's the Action Army, Chris. I mean, I'm a part of that, Jeremy. So watch what you're saying. like I'm a happy general within the Action Army for sure, no doubt about it. JFTV. You already know, man. It's so funny when people pop up in the chat and they refer to me as JFTB, especially on Spin from the Real, because Matt and Suge have no idea what the hell is going on.
Oh, I bet they're like, what the hell is this?
Right. Jake would pop in. He's like, oh, what's up? What's good? Or Alan Smithy. But, and Ben, he was on the show like a month ago. Like, same thing. Like, it was nuts. William Harold does say that Kaiser Witt, Roka versus, anybody. And I get it, right? I get it. I get the Roca, like the Roca not love. I don't want to call it hate. See Justin Bros, JCB, he gets it. JCB, my man gets it. But it's like it's a legacy thing. At the end of the day, it could be like when JTE went away, it was always under the assumption he'd come back, and he did. With like Snyder, I thought Snyder deserved a bigger send off than what he got. But I know the circumstances behind that, and I don't know all the details behind Snyder leaving or whatever.
I do. I just can't say anything.
Right, but for me, as just as a normie, it just happened, and I thought even if he didn't want it, I thought he deserved it. And I forget who brought up the question earlier or brought the comment earlier on the Yodi Award. In a perfect world, it's the both of them. It's Roca and Snyder. In a perfect world, it'll probably be Roca, and he'll probably have like a 30-minute speech at the Comedy Store when they do the awards. He'll just keep going and going and going, rattling off every name he's beaten. But I think Snyder also deserves a ton of love too. Because the Patriots, just with this time with the Patriots,
teams player of all time.
Yeah, facts, and like the two partners he had this year with Janine and with Andreyko, like with just the runs, if you can call it a run.
Did the odd couple have a match?
Even if they didn't, even dating with this time with the odd couple with Andreyko or the odder couple with Janine, like. Some of the best teams matches ever, or some of the best teams performances ever include Jeff Snyder.
Last year at Spectacular, that comeback that they had to beat Shazam.
The shock to where like even
Shazam only loses at Spectacular, by the way. So they're probably going to beat Lightning Time at the end of the month, and then they'll play the winner of the teams tournament at Spectacular, and that's where they'll lose. I laughed so hard. I was like, wow, you guys just lose at Spectacular. That's all you know how to do.
And I'm trying to think. I mean, there are a lot of good teams in the teams tournament too, so it's feasible. Because if you were to tell me, like the Odd Couple is a great team and their track record's fantastic, but even like they were shocked when when they beat Shazam Spectacular last year. But I digress, because we said his name thrice, and he answered the call. His name is Mr. John Kaiser, the manager of the Victor tonight. You already know. Mr. Kaiser, how are you?
What's up, Kaiser?
Hold on. Let me do a Parker twirl for you. Hold on.
Go ahead.
You would have to shrink about 6 inches.
Oh, there you go. Woo! Yeah.
Oh, look. It's the exact same shirt.
Look at that. You gotta keep it up, man. With the Spider t-shirt, you already know. Kaiser, how are you, brother?
I'm pretty damn good. I think you know why.
Damn right.
So do you know where Parker is, or is he still in hiding after he murdered Saul?
First of all, I appreciate that compliment. That's the nicest thing anybody's said to me in months. But the truth is, I can't talk about where Parker is.
Gotcha.
Oh, noted.
You know that.
He is protecting his boy, which I wouldn't expect anything.
Now, what he's doing is he's out on the 405 selling these things. We got about 50 of these. And we're making money hand over fist. I stole a bunch of them from the venue before I left. So,
and now you're reselling them.
Well, yeah, of course. You know the deal. How long have you known me for?
About a minute, about 60 seconds.
Cal, stop. Be playing coy with me. Come on.
But Kaiser, I wanted to ask you, because earlier we were talking about how, at the cantina when you're talking to Jen, doing your little promos after the match, even before the match, you're just talking, hyping yourself up.
I'm gonna stop you right there, Mike Kalinowski. You ain't doing your little promos. You make it sound like I'm a, 7th grader just picked up a camera for the first time.
Let me rephrase.
Yeah, please.
When you're letting people know how you feel about the match,
sure,
and you have to, you're gonna be Kaiser, you're gonna be you, of course. But you got to be nice. But you got to be almost not halfway nice about it. Or not nice, but
hold on, Cal.
Hold back.
Cal, it really depends on who we're going against, but continue.
Right. So for this match with Saul,
right.
How do you feel about his performance? About Saul's, not Parker, because we obviously know how you feel about Parker's performance, but about Saul's performance. What'd you think?
I think he's a better competitor than he showed in that match, personally. And I'm not here to dissect what went wrong for him. I'll just talk about what went right for him this entire season. So if you're going to judge the man, had a phenomenal season. I mean, if you're going to lay the metrics down, how do you take anything away from this guy? We didn't take him lightly. Knockouts were not in the horizon. Well, we think we can knock out anybody. Let's be real. I mean, and we can. But going into that one, the kid was on such a roll that it was like, we just got to beat him by one, man. That's all. So that's the way I look at every match.
Beat him by a little bit more than one.
Fair.
It's 13. So
my lucky number.
Pretty impressive there.
You don't see that too often. So 13-point wins. Jeez.
Well, I mean, and I think a lot of it has to do with the time I've put in with Parker in 2 seasons, all culminating in having him here live in the dungeon for 3-4 days, not doing Zoom training we're talking about the man is in the house, and we are running multiple Zooms with people in the squad and things are going, but like every single thing was firing on every cylinder, and he was sharp. Sure. We were quizzing things, missed something, whatever, but like he was hitting the right things this time around compared to other matches where, yeah, he hits what you expect him to hit, but now he needs to hit these other things. And so we were very fortunate to have him live and in person a few days before. And I think it made all the difference. A live match and a damn Zoom match. I mean, I don't have to tell anybody how different and difficult they are. Like, I'm a live guy. And I think that just shows that if you go back and watch the match, you'll see a lot of communication and a lot of back and forth. And that's just how it was before the match, during the match, and after the match. Like, so, when we got the right time and to really put it together, this is what happened. So it all worked out.
And I just want to spotlight some folks in the chat, like Maxwell Hadow. What's going on, Maxwell? This fucking guy is making the rounds tonight.
Oh, that's nice.
It's awfully nice.
This is a family show. I know that right now you're sleeping in a Subway somewhere under a Frigidaire box, but clean it up for the kids.
I mean, Brandon was going nuts right before he got here. About,
Kaiser, you missed it. I was going off on Roca. I was just tearing into shreds.
Yeah, not a fan. I
didn't know. Did he do something?
No, he basically told Christian he has to give a match at Spectacular, and I said that's stupid. He has not earned a match to be at basically the Super Bowl of the Schmoedown this year.
Well, let me ask you this question. Would you be interested in watching John Roca play? Answer honestly.
No.
You would not be interested in watching John Roca play at Spectacular?
No, I would not. I'm going to be that. Because I don't want to. I'm not a fan of Roca. I don't think he's.
You don't have to be a fan of him to want to watch him play, is what I'm saying.
I personally think there are other matches I would rather see at Spectacular than see John Roca have a retirement match where the outcome's not going to mean anything.
Hey, man, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to knock your argument. That's completely valid. I just think people want to watch that man play. That's all I'm saying. Now, I would love to beat him, but like you said, I'd rather play for something that means something. But I think everybody there would want to watch that guy play. I mean, no matter who he's playing against. So that's my opinion.
If he does play, I hope he just gets destroyed by whoever he plays.
If he does play while he's playing, I'll be in the parking lot selling these little beauties for $24.99.
That's it.
I'll be making money hand over fist on these Saul bobbleheads while he's playing.
If I buy a Saul bobblehead, will you sign it?
Of course.
See, that makes it worth it to me. Joseph Burrows. What's up, Kaiser? What's up, Dickie Doo?
What up, Joey Burrows? You can't call me that.
Suge Knight in the chat was awesome meeting you, Kaiser. Suge Knight at the Cantina taping.
Suge is like if Mario Land had a drug dealer. That's when I saw him in real life. Like, he's just kind of smiling and shit. Like, he's always happy. He's thinking like 3 steps ahead. Like, he's He's an interesting guy. He delivered. I've only met him through the television, so meeting him live, he's a baller. I'm a fan of that guy.
Yeah, Suge Knight. But I mean, Parker's performance is the reason why we're not having Cantina matches anymore, apparently, according to Sean.
Why? Because they're still cleaning up the joint?
Right. Big bloodbath, and big love to Alan Smithy for popping by too.
Oh, that's our number one guy. Like that's the dungeon film archivist. Like he is in the dungeon. We don't put him in trivia matches because we don't want to be embarrassed. But he's very, very important. He delivers the 16 millimeter prints. He broke into basically Spike Lee and Martin Scorsese's collection, jacked a bunch of real prints. We screened him in the dungeon, had Whit drive him back, 24-hour drive back to the archive. But he's a good guy. That's why we gave him the OG bobblehead that was on the thing for the rest of the match. So he's got the real deal, the number one, only one of one. That thing should be in a museum, like Indiana Jones type shit, man.
That's like the
put
Schmoe
that
Down
in
Museum.
the Schmoe Down Museum. The day Parker won his tournament right before he beat Mike.
Okay.
So,
Jeff
already answered my question. I was going to ask, who do you want Parker to face at Spectacular, Mike or Moses?
Who cares? Honestly, it's like I like Moses as a competitor, so it'd be interesting to see him advance. But at the same time, I'd probably rather beat up on Kalinowski than anybody in this league. So there's value in that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I want to ask, because you said, with Alan Smithy being the filmographer of the dungeon, and you said Adam Witt's the one running for y'all.
It's the film archivist.
The film archivist.
Okay.
Excuse me. The film archivist.
Maybe if you spent more time studying than you did hanging your shirts from Sears over your shoulder, you'd know something.
I'll you know what? Duly noted.
Right.
Yeah, gotcha. But
close the door next time. It's embarrassing.
But when Adam Witt, we had the little cutscene before the pay-per-view tonight. Mm-hmm. Is that what Adam Witt was doing? He was gonna go run the tapes? Is that what he ran from? Ran to do, or I should say?
I think that man currently has a skewed vision of time and place. And I think he's so busy. I mean, this he's a baller. He's working on TV shows. He's working on podcasts. He's training these cats in the dungeon and cats and kittens. He's got a lot going on. I think he gets mixed up sometimes. So I think he showed up. He thought he was supposed to manage. And obviously he wasn't. And then he ran. That was the only weird part when he ran. I'm like, yeah, I get the scheduling, but you ran. I don't know. And he ran weird, Brandon. I don't know if you noticed. He ran. First of all, I didn't even know it was a camera. I didn't know
it looked like someone who is not athletically gifted.
Okay.
Who doesn't run a lot.
That's fair.
So, yeah, you can definitely see that with certain people.
Or he looked like he was chasing Roger Rabbit if you run the tape back. Cal, run it back. See if you see what I see.
Noted.
He looked like he was printing money for the Acme company. You know what I mean? He was up to a little sneaky, but I don't know, man. We'll figure it out. We always do. He was there for Parker when he walked out to the ring. That's all that matters.
All right, as long as he came back from running from wherever
he did come back. He did come back.
But Kaiser, if I can ask you about the dungeon's entire season, because
they're in first place right now. By the way, I just want to say they're up 67-62 out of all the
place.
I got to preface this with all the publicly aired matches.
Yes, before anything else.
I'm glad you pay attention to the numbers because I haven't looked at that. I haven't looked at a stat the entire year. Yeah, I hear hey, we're still in first. Okay, great. Oh, Coy went up. Okay, great. I don't look at that shit. I got to be honest with you. I don't look at, you know what I look at? I've got so many people in this dungeon that every week it's somebody else is up. So while the other, a lot of these guys, they got the week off, 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off, a month off. I'm never off. I'm like 7-Eleven. I'm open 24/7. I'm selling you Swisher Sweets when you're, whatever, at 4 a.m. But what I'm saying is this. Someone else is always up, and all I can really look at is the next guy or girl's match. That's the way it is. And I'm very lucky to have Adam Witt to be there and step in for me when I can't be there because it's a demanding schedule. You got 10 10 people on your roster. That ain't easy for anybody to manage. So props to my fellow managers. I'll give them all some respect for count me down 10 seconds. People like Shannon Barney, who got careers and still find the time to rock out with a very talented, though aggravating group of people. It's a big deal. So, I'll leave it at that.
And
Sorry, I know it sounds like Mad Max outside my front door.
No, I think
it's because there's a water shortage here in Los Angeles, so everyone's going nuts.
Word.
Yeah,
I got
we're in the middle of a 30-year drought.
Word, duly noted. And see, I don't know. I'm being California in December, and I have no idea. I don't even know what the damn state's like. I just know that it's on fire like all the time.
Where do you live? The bathroom at Target?
No, it looks like it though. But I live in Chicago, so
I love Chicago.
Chicago's a great city.
Great city.
Like
some of the best food I've ever had in my life.
It's a good time.
Buffalo, New York, number 1. New York City, number 2. Chicago, number 3.
That's what I like to hear. And then in California, when there's water, somewhere in there.
Yeah, you can't make rice out here because there's no water. What are you gonna do?
Right.
Ramen. If you get ramen, that's just like Christmas.
But the entire dungeon season for y'all, because you say you never really paid attention to standings. You're just going out there trying to collect as many W's as you can.
Week after week.
And with like the success, or really, no, like the success that y'all have had across the faction, whether it's Mara, Ben, Dan, now really Robert, or solidifying his spot at Spectacular. Like, especially looking back at last season, did anything change between where y'all were at then and now, or has it just always been it's grind, try our best, or was there a difference in style, different people coming around?
Look, if you're talking IG, you can't beat having Robert Parker and Mark Knopik on the same team. I mean, that's just like a dream come true. It's like number 1's going to get their shot, 1A's going to get their shot, whichever one. Like, winning a freaking belt with Mara, her first time out the gate in 2 years, is will always go down as one of the biggest, most important things that's ever happened to me in my life. Like, that was amazing. That's another good example of prepping.
That is a moment of the year for me when she won to start the year.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And it's especially because, not knowing her all that well, knowing her and being friendly and loving her as a comedian and a personality. I always was a big fan of her game, but, becoming friends with her, and then the friendship with her and Smets and Parker, that I think that's probably got a huge bit of difference on why we've been a little more successful in IG this year. You win some, you lose some, but overall, I would say so far is a success for the dungeon in the Intergeekdom division all the way around. Now we got one more, mile to run, and but we will do it. We always do what we say, and we will beat Mike Kalinowski, and Parker will be the next champion of the world.
Yeah, I mean, you still have so you've clinched one spot at Spectacular. You still have a shot to do at least 3 more, because you could do it with Star Wars, you could do it with singles, and you could do it with teams.
That's the plan, Brandon. If any faction out there doesn't think they're going to have to win out, then I got news for you, because this thing is going to come down to the wire. This is going to go down as one of the most intense seasons in the Schmoe, whether it was half on video and half in real life. There's a real competitive level right now that's going on that I mean, and again, I'm fairly newer to the sport, but the competitive level I'm seeing this year is insane. And it's funny because we all, joke around, and we're all peers of each other and love the sport and love to watch people play. I mean, like, obviously I watch every match Vinny plays. He's born in the dungeon. Like, you know what I mean? Guys like that, Zipper, like, I want to watch them play. Right now, I've never seen anything like what's going on. And so it's going to be down to the wire.
And if I can ask a question that Chris Hall actually in the chat, what's going on, Chris?
Who's that?
He asked, do you know what your team will look like next year? And more so, to expand on that, how did you feel about the change in factions? Because you said you're newer to the sport, so you've gotten so acclimated with us more acclimated with a smaller group of people, spending so much time with them, hours and hours and hours. And the next season, it won't be like that, at least with not as many people as far as we know.
Yeah.
So what was your initial reaction to factions getting cut down, if not existing at all?
It's a two-part thing. It's like, you're sad to not be able to have as many people on your team working together towards something. Those relationships, those will be missed. That said, paring it down to 5 is going to make people's lives, I think, a little easier. And I think we'll all have a little bit more breathing room with our own, personal ventures. So it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. I wish to God my whole, job in life was aggravating people and managing 10 players in the Schmoe, because that would be a dream. That's a winning lottery ticket for me. 5 will be 5. It'll be what it is, but I'm not even looking at it. I'll worry about that in the off season, man. It's operation.
What off season? The off season is like 2 weeks.
That's fine. That's all I need to build a great team.
It's like 2 weeks. Like the season ends in December.
If the season ends right now, I'm manager of the year, hands down. Shut the door. Not that I need a trophy to be validated, but I have no doubt that I can put together a great team regardless of the situation. So next year. We got to win this year, and that's what's most important. I just told you I don't look at the standings. You think I'm looking at next year? No, I'm looking at the next guy's match. And that's it. That is it.
Yeah, I believe your next match is Molly Damon's Star Wars match against her husband.
Oh, she's gonna whoop him. He's gonna be sleeping on the porch. It's gonna be ugly.
What about the match, though, Kaiser? Like,
what about the match?
How do you feel about it? You said she's gonna whoop him and stuff. That's great, but what about the match?
I think this is going to be one of the best matches we have all year long. I mean, who amongst us doesn't want to see Damon versus Damon? You know what I mean?
Never thought I'd see it. I've really never thought I'd see it.
It's the greatest thing to come to the Schmoe since Thomas Harper, who I discovered, by the way. But that's nor here nor there. Yeah,
I have heard that.
I discovered him. I was at the Trivia Con, whatever they call it over there. Han Solo Con. Yeah. Well, I met him at Greedo Con, and then we hung out at Hammerhead Con, and that's when I met him at King Con's barbecue for Gucci. He threw Gucci a birthday thing. I saw him over there. So yeah, it's all good. But yeah, it's gonna be a great match. I can't wait for that one. Can't wait to get Dan in his next tournament match. Is going to be a big one. They're all big. Every match is big from here on in. I mean, every match is big every day. Let's stop screwing around. Like, every single match matters. There's no taking a week off, a day off. It's serious business. You guys know that.
I'm really interested to see which faction has the most matches at Spectacular, because the fact is, I believe each win at Spectacular is 10 points. So the more competitors you have in matches at Spectacular, you can make a huge jump in those faction points.
Oh, yeah.
If you have 2 or 3 there, the more you have, your odds are better to go ahead and win multiple matches.
I mean, Brandon, you're not lying. It's going to be a numbers game. It's going to get tight quick. At some point, science will take over and math will take over, and, adrenaline and training and all that. But I'll tell you one thing I told Ben Bateman. I said, win or lose, we put together some of the greatest friends all of us are ever going to have. And let it not go understated that training and talking movies with Ben Bateman and Dan Merle and David Del Rio is a fun thing to do. Adam Witt, said it best. He's like, this is just a stupid game. When you approach things a little looser, I think good things happen. But I've gained a good group of friends, and I couldn't be more proud of this team, win or lose. Everybody gave everything. Everyone's out there dying every day, working hard. That's all you can ask for, man. When you're managing a team, that's all you can ask for.
I'm so glad you mentioned David Del Rio, because that is one of the biggest head scratchers that the Schmoe has seen this year. And I wanna ask you, how quick was that phone call to whoever, Christian or Mark, that you were picking up David Del Rio? How quick was that? What, a few minutes, if that?
Western Union is jealous of me. Okay,
That's how fast he was. That's how fast he was.
Yeah. You know what? A bit of this is on me that I didn't target him earlier in the draft. I'm gonna assume responsibility for not drafting him when I want, and I should. I had my eye on him and I slept on him, and it's stupid because Del Rio and I were friends before the Schmoe down and had always talked about like I'd be cool to play together. And you know what? Who cares? Yahtzee. We roll the dice, and here he is, and he's in the dungeon, and he's winning, and he is a badass, and comes in with such a swagger and cool and wants to train. I'm available Tuesday night. I just wrapped, 12 hours on set. Let's go. You can't ask for more than a guy than that. You know what I mean? So I think big things are coming his way. I think he's going to get better and better and better. So I'm really fortunate I get to play with him this season.
Yeah, he looked pretty impressive in his round 1 match against Liz.
Yeah. Well, I told him can't lose this one. No pressure.
No pressure.
Can't lose this one.
I picked you up, so I'm hoping this works out.
Hey, it's been good training with you. Things have keeping it loose. Can't lose this one. And he went out and he won it, man. So I'm proud of that guy. He's a real competitor. He loves this game. That helps too.
I mean, and this whole year, like the dungeons had nothing but success. Like
I don't know about that. I mean, everyone's had their ups and downs.
Of course, but I mean, y'all have been towards the top for a majority of the year, and I mean, for us nerds that look at the stats, that look at the W's, and how many points you have throughout the year, like y'all have been up there for a majority of it, if not, like 90% of it. So y'all have been succeeding across all 4 divisions too. So, like picking up the Del Rios or the Battaglias, throughout even though we haven't gotten to see them yet, like there's been a lot of knowledge and a lot of skill.
Battaglia's in AAA, but we're looking,
right.
call him up soon,
But like you picked them up for a reason, Like,
I like that kid a lot. He's got the attitude. He's got nice clothes. That goes a long way with me. Nice hair. You know what I mean? Maintains himself well. He's just a cool guy. You want to. He's like if the dungeon was Goodfellas, he'd be at the cab stand with us. Like I'm like I gotta get this. I gotta get this kid. You know what I mean? And he's from Rochester, New York, my hometown. Now you're gonna tell me some kid like that comes in the Schmoedown from Rochester, New York, where I grew up, and I'm not picking him up.
Crazy.
Yes, I wanted to get him a match. You know how things go. It's not always that easy, but he's been there training with guys, running sessions, doing the work. Whit gave me a report on him recently saying coming along really well. I was like, that's good to hear, because I want that kid to be successful. And so like him a lot. I can't wait to see him in action, hopefully with the dungeon, but it's gonna be wild, man. The end of this thing is gonna be it's gonna be like that gang fight in Anchorman. Like people are just gonna be coming out of nowhere. Yeah. Like someone's gonna get hit with a trident. Like it's gonna be a freaking hornet's nest at the end of this season, and it's all gonna get nuts. It's spectacular, that's for sure. So
well, speaking of getting nuts, we do have another person joining us, and it's someone that was in the chat not too long ago. His name is Suge Knight. Suge.
Yo, look at this. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
What do you want? What do you want? Spirit Air? You heading to Vegas you're probably going to Reno. You're probably going to Reno. Guy like
you. First off, don't talk about Reno that way. How dare you?
Are you from there?
Me and Gucci are going to go to Vegas. Kaiser, we talked about this. We're all going to go to Vegas.
Expect me to remember anything I talked about after a match, but good on you.
How you doing tonight, Kaiser? Congratulations on your win. I was there. I was very disappointed, but I actually really enjoyed watching you live. It was actually very, very educational because I don't care what anybody says. You're one of the most active managers that I've seen, especially live. You were in Robert's ear every 5 seconds. I watched you go off camera with him, talk strategy, whatever, you pump him up. You were hooting and hollering. And then after you finished the match, you just drank beers like it was no tomorrow. So I really enjoyed it. I had a really good time.
Yeah, we kept the whistle clean a few days leading in. We don't want to, we didn't want to blur anything. So yes, of course it was Miller time. The minute he won that thing, of course. But yeah, I think anyone who was there and saw it gets a sense of like it's a totally different game live. We were talking about this earlier, and someone like me and Parker who've been developing this shorthand over time, it's not that dissimilar from me and Smets, to be honest with you. It's very, very much the same. And they both are lethal men, beautiful men, crazy men, talented men. And it just goes to show you when it all comes together, man. I'm really proud of this kid. I mean, you think about after losing the chance in that tournament and the chosen one, what's going to happen to you, and where is he now? I say, you got to build him back up. Like, this is the lowest you're at right now. Now we got to go all the way up to the top, like George Jefferson, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. And that's where we're going. And we're not going to stop. We're going to beat Kalinowski. We're going to beat corruption. If any of you have seen my video where I went to the future, I just, I explained that. But it's nor here nor there. That's for another show. I'll talk about time travel some other time.
No, yeah, for sure, because we will not know who Parker's facing until in a couple weeks from now. 3 weeks. Okay.
25th? Is that the day?
22nd. 3 weeks from, because there is the live event next week, and I think they take a week off, and then there's another double match pay-per-view.
You going to that live event, Kaiser? You going to New York? You going back?
I wish I could. It's may not be in the cards for me. So pretty busy right now, managing this house, keeping everything tidy in the dungeon, and got a job too. So I would love to go. If I go to New York, it's going to be a jump on a plane at midnight situation. But the fact that it's the last New York show in a while is a little concerning. I mean, like, that makes me want to go, but we got other things to tend to. So we'll see, man. I mean, it's going to be such a damn good event. I mean, I think Newman's going to mop the floor with the other guy. I think that's happening. I think you'll see Newman possibly playing for a belt this season. I think he's that good. So
wow.
If he makes it too spectacular, him and Harper, I think, will be neck and neck for.
That's not going to happen, Buck. It's Paige Fabretti is going to be at spectacular.
Paige Fabretti, I think, is a player who could absolutely beat Griffin Newman. I don't take anything away from her. It's just something about
Paige plays the winner of that match too.
Well, something about that team's match, the way they managed that made me realize, okay, I know you're good at trivia, but you're good at managing a game too. And so I think him and Khan are for real. I think everyone, I think they could be as champions as much as anybody in this league. I don't see why not. I really think they're that good. So, in the end, when they play us, they always make mistakes because they do some dumb stuff and we catch them when, and here comes the knockout. So as talented as they are, you play us, it's a different story. Like this, ours is like a gang fight. We're like the Warriors, nothing's conventional. And so whatever playbook you had coming into us, throw it out the window because you really, you're not going to know what you get till we get there. And I think that's the advantage the dungeon has.
Very, very true.
And see, Kaiser, something I've admired about you since you've joined the league, and whether you're just, roaming around the league with Smets, or even now being at the top of the faction leaderboards, like, you're a guy that gets it. You get the game for what it is, like the entire package, the trivia and the character thing. And a hot button topic the last few weeks, at least from the little conversations I've been having, is the whole character aspect of everything, or really just the theatrics behind it. And I know some folks think that the trivia is more important than the character, but Buck and I were alluding to earlier that it's just as important. We're bringing the theatrics and the whole presentation, whether you're putting on a character or if you're just being yourself. Is that something you'd agree with?
It's called show business for a reason. So, if you wanted to watch 8 knuckleheads play trivia against each other, then go to O'Malley's down the road. You know what I mean? If you're not bringing flair and you're not bringing funk and you're not bringing something on the mic and you're not, singling yourself out as a character in this league, what are you doing? Get out. So yes, while I call this, listen, let's be real. Sports entertainment is a very accurate term that people could label the Schmoe with. That said, I treat it like sport. And so it's always a sport in my brain. And the other stuff is key and fundamental, but if you want to win, you got to really look at it as a sport, and so I think, growing up with a dad as an umpire and around pro baseball and playing college football and then just being a general jackass really prepared me for this. So here I am.
Yeah, I mean, but speaking of jackass, we got
general jackasses.
Yeah, we got somebody in the back who wanted to come on since you're here. And
hold on, tell him to wait 1 second, but you could bring him in.
Sure. We're bringing the resident jackass.
Quick show.
Well, hell's bells. Look at this guy. What are you doing? Filming Summer Rental 3 with Dan Aykroyd's son?
I was waiting for which one. How Kaiser would react to Jeff on here.
Look at the surfboard in the background. Look at that.
Are you playing John Candy in the John Candy story for Hallmark Channel?
This is to remind me that one time in a Beyonce song, she said surfboard in a weird way.
You look like you're having fun.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun.
Now you're in Savannah, Georgia for the weekend. Is that right? Or Brunswick?
No, what am I doing? Why would I be in Georgia? What am I doing? Having sex with a sister? I don't got one of those. No, I'm in Florida.
This is the part of the shit. Even you're going, it's too far from me. You know what I mean?
What the hell, Jeff?
Lord. You better stay in Florida, homie.
You're in Orlando for a day, and now you're a whole different dude. I haven't seen you in weeks. Jesus, Jeff.
So am I a whole different dude because it's been one day, or because you haven't seen me in weeks?
Both. You're acting up. You're making up for me being gone.
Isn't this your show, Quiz? This is your show, right?
Look, here's the deal. It's not that I've been in Orlando for a day.
I think Cal should go do his own show because I think he's managing this shit.
Florida, and everything that they serve you has at least like a 3.5% meth.
Oh yeah.
So it's just something that occurs.
Right. Yeah, they drink Long Island iced tea with their waffles out there. So
like Gina Rowlands under John Cassavetes and someone under the influence. It's fine.
Ooh, you taking it back. Have you seen the Criterion? Did we talk about this, Quiz?
I don't know.
Criterion Collection has New York stories right now.
Ooh,
so if you're smart enough and intellectually qualified, get a subscription to the,
I haven't watched.
Get a subscription to the Criterion channel, right? Yeah, I mean that's my favorite thing in the world.
I love Criterion.
My writing partner's like, well, you don't watch TV. I'm like, because I don't give a fuck about Ted Lasso. I'm watching The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. Like I'd rather
because he works in TV. He doesn't have time to watch.
No,
TV.
I got time for Kurosawa on the Criterion channel. That's my idea.
Is it television or is it Love Island? What is it?
You're talking about the most successful reality show on CBS, Love Island, that I'm one of the producers on.
Yes,
it's not art, but it gets ratings.
No. I'm putting it on its own. I'm putting it on its own form of pedestal because remember, HBO advertises. It's not television.
Mm-hmm.
It's HBO. It's not TV. It's Love Island. It's transcended into its own thing. I watched the episodes you worked on.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's something. You already knew. What are you talking about? And yeah,
I'm a maestro. I'm like Bugs Bunny when he got a hold of the symphony. I'm like, tick, 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 tick. Let the psycho handle this for a minute. It's going to be fun.
It's not art, but it gets ratings.
Do you guys know you guys know who Bugs Bunny is, or are you doing Teen Titans go fuck themselves?
Bugs Bunny. That's
I don't know who I don't know the age group I'm talking to.
I mean, I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest here. I'm the oldest here.
No shit, you're the oldest. Shit. Bitch,
thanks, Kaiser.
I think was that your retirement party at the cantina the other night? Was that
it was my birthday gift to myself. Thanks, Kaiser.
I gotta say, it was really nice meeting you.
It was awesome meeting you.
You're a stand-up guy. You got that big smile. You light up a room. You like to see those qualities in a human being. Smile for once. You know, everyone's on Facebook. Well, the vaccine, no vaccine, a Biden. Shut the fuck up and smile for one. You know, if you start there, just smile and Shug, let it be known, you radiate happiness. You're a happy guy, and
you know what, Shug, you're right. You'd look better if you smiled more.
I would, but my teeth are fucked up, so I don't like to smile.
We could smile.
I didn't even notice. Now, granted, I need glasses, but still.
Well, that's not our problem. Go to the fucking doctor, dude.
So, Quiz, what are you doing? You wake up in the morning and you guys jerk off Michael Myers in the bathroom, and then what happens after that?
Excuse me?
How does this vacation play out?
I just shot a bunch of aliens with the MIB, and after that, came back here after getting a nightcap, paying $9 a drink, and now I'm drinking stuff that I bought at a Walgreens.
Oh, well, that's okay. That's Florida, baby. You got to get ahead of it. You got to get ahead of it.
Chris, can I ask you a question? Is this how I am last week when I was drunk? Or Buck, you were here when I drank that Jaeger for Marisol. Is this how I was acting?
You were. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not a good word. What's the word?
Incoherent.
Incoherent's a really good word.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. I saw Marisol McKee before that match. And I was like, oh, fuck, this is over with. First of all, I called it and predicted it. And you can ask anyone. I called it. The minute the match went up, my post on Facebook was, I'm calling my guys in Vegas now. It's hers. Okay, that's one thing.
Can you imagine if we had betting odds on the Schmoedown? I'm even more broke.
No, brother, I'd have a house in the Hamptons if I could gamble on that match. I knew right away. But then when I saw her, I'm like, is she human? She might be like some other DNA. You want to check her out. And boy, did she. Whew. Salute to Marisol McKee. Again, I hate to give the enemy props, but that woman earned it, man.
She defends her belt in 8 days.
God, look, she's a damn good player.
Here's the deal, man. It's not about like, oh, you don't want to compliment someone who's a part of the enemy. Look, your faction wasn't part of that. You could talk about who won and lost all you want.
Oh, I can be. Listen, Quiz, you know better than me that.
Yeah, I do.
You know, you do. You always do. But I love the game and I love the sport, and you know, I can sit back and pull myself out of it and be an observer, and I can have, you know, be fans of people, you know, that aren't in my faction when I'm watching and observing a match. I don't ever want them to beat us, of course, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm impressed with the field, and so, you know, it's that was something to watch, man. You know.
For sure. I mean,
hopefully Chance is able to make it to New York next week, Jeff.
Chance might be the
we'll see.
Dare I say, the most lethal.
Yeah, that's why I said let's just hope that Jeff doesn't sabotage it there.
I'm not.
Chance is there with Jeff. So
okay, I'm gonna make another prediction. Make another prediction. Chance beats Marisol in this match. I just think Chance is the guy to beat in singles this year.
Oh,
I think so. As great as Marisol is, if we're talking, if we were in Vegas and had, you know, hey, here's $100, put it on one. I put it on Chance. That's my prediction.
And Kaiser, here's how I feel as someone who, as you know, look, a lot of people who do after shows, they're alleged or they're openly spoken as being a shill of one of the factions. You know, Saul is unfortunately a den shill because I guess he's a masochist.
Saul,
or not Saul. I meant to say Shug. I'm sorry, 2 S's in the beginning.
Yeah, we all have our favorites. That's understandable.
No. I said Saul because Saul just played, and Shug, like Saul is one of Shug's absolute favorite players. So I mixed them up. I wasn't saying he was. I mean, obviously he's a supporter of his own faction. Not.
It's okay, Jeff. It's okay. It's okay.
Shut the fuck up, Chris. And
that's a nice way to talk to your friends.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. After
I love you too. I love you too, Jeff. Show.
Oh man, love is a hard word to say.
4 letters, man.
But, so the word, here's a 4-letter word. Fuck. Anyways,
fuck.
So a lot of us are low key shills for different factions. It's no secret. It's no secret that I support and I love a lot of factions, but a lot of my support has been directed mainly at the dungeon. Having said that, I look at the numbers. I see who's in what place, and I see I'm here with Chance this weekend, and I love Marisol. I think she's awesome. But Chance has the ability to win less points than Marisol.
I think Chance is the guy to beat in singles this year, and I'll leave it at that. I think he's the guy to beat in singles. I don't care about points. We're talking belts, straps.
Chance is great. Marisol is great. I don't know who's actually going to win, but I can't call who's going to win. What I will do is I will see what I can do to help provide at least, even if it's an iota of the percentage of support to help try and get corruption less points this week. You look like you had a ton of fun and horror. Yeah, I had a great night. In 2 weeks, I hope I don't test positive. We'll find out. Florida is
you may want to stay out of the ball crawl at Chuck E. Cheese, brother. That might be my one advice to you, bro.
Man, I don't think Jeff can be within like 100 feet of a Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, you guys are dirty.
What do I look like?
Y'all just take it to the bottom.
Jeff, where the fuck are you? You're like, I thought I was in the closet, and then I saw where you're at. You're literally in someone's closet.
I'm in Orlando. I look out the window. I see a fucking parking lot. What do you?
Well, I look at your screen. You have a fucking surfboard back there. What the fuck? You don't surf.
Florida.
Jeff, is that your painting? Did you do that before the show? Is that what?
Yeah, I actually.
Did you guys go to Arts and Crafts Night in Tampa or wherever the hell you are?
What you can't tell is that it's lifelike to look 3D, but if I go up to the wall, it's flat.
Here, go up to the wall right now, Jeff.
I'm fucking lying. Why would I do that?
You guys realize something. I just got to break this down for you.
Sure.
Please.
The Sopranos movie came out today.
It did.
I've been so busy, I didn't get a
chance. Why
am
I talking to you fuckfaces when I haven't seen this thing yet?
Same.
Now, I've been sitting here working all day. I got it just waiting off to the side. And I'm like, I got to go talk about Parker's match. I got to be a professional. That said, it's just sitting over here like a half a gabagool sandwich waiting for me to tear it.
Gabagool?
I cannot wait for this. This is like every Italian's dream. This will be better than the next 6 Christmases, I can promise you. Okay, Gandolfini's kids coming in.
You got Alessandro Nivola, who previously had what might be a career-defining performance in The Art of Self-Defense. Now he's going to be in The Many Saints of Newark.
Is he playing Dickie Montalsante?
Yeah, he's Dickie Many Saints.
I had no idea who that actor was, and I was so happy that these filmmakers had the balls to cast what I would consider an unknown. You guys know because, you got your hand on the pulse more than me. I was like, who is this guy?
Castor Troy's brother, dude.
Who?
Isn't he Castor Troy's brother?
Castor Troy?
Nivola? Who's Castor Troy from Face Off? Alessandro Nivola played him.
Really?
Yeah. I forgot his name.
I saw that movie once, and I'll probably never watch it again.
Man, I'm telling you right now.
You don't like Face Off? I like Face Off.
Yeah, it was fun in the movie theater. Why would I ever go back and watch that?
John Woo, Nicolas Cage, who is a wheel slice motherfucker.
Yeah, great. Nicolas Cage makes a lot of movies. That don't mean I got to go back. I would rather watch Raising Arizona 10 times than that fucking thing.
50% of his movies came out on DVD in the last 10 years, so those aren't going to fucking count.
That's a good observation. But
that's a great observation.
My point is this. I like how they casted a relative unknown to be the main guy. Bernthal could have been probably the Dickie Montalsante. What'd they do? They put Bernthal to the side because he'd be more effective that way. That's just smart filmmaking. Don't shoot your wad. Get a new guy in there because it's more believable that way is all I'm going to say. You know what I mean? It's more believable when it isn't Mark Wahlberg is playing. No, it's just Mark Wahlberg. You know what I mean? You get an actor to play, a real actor to play a role, like a little unknown. I think it's always better when you can get a relatively unknown person.
Yeah, I mean,
we're not here to cast
he's not a name. He's absolutely not a name. Not
Hell no.
Gandolfini. But I think Billy Magnuson is very funny. I think he's very enjoyable. Billy Magnuson.
Who's he?
He's the blonde dumb guy from Game Night. If you watch that,
I love Game Night.
Game Night's a great movie.
You remember
Game Night is that's Billy. A rewatchable movie. Face Off is not.
Gonna differ there, but you remember the blonde dumb friend from Game Night? Yeah, that's Billy Magnuson. He plays young Paulie Walnuts.
Oh man, he's probably gonna crush it.
He's so good.
Yeah, Joey Diaz is in the movie. Very exciting. Comedian Joey Diaz.
I believe Nick Vallelonga has a role in this movie.
That was my 4th grade principal.
Nick Vallelonga.
Yeah.
It's funny. For a second there, I'm like, is he serious? Was this the guy who wrote Green Book?
Yeah, that guy. This is the same dude. High school.
I mean, Kaiser's best friend is King Griffey Jr. Jr. So
I wouldn't say best, but we are.
Nick Vallelonga was the guy who's
friends with King Griffey Jr.
You know who's the Oscar-winning scene for Viggo Mortensen in Green Book? Yeah, it's gonna be that scene where he's gonna take a pizza and he's gonna fold it in half and house the whole fucking thing in one bite.
Jeff, stop. Kaiser's friends with Ken Griffey Jr. and that's the best thing I've heard all day.
You never heard of this?
You gotta get out there,
No, I've never heard of this.
Oh yeah, it's a great story.
Ken Griffey Jr. is like my favorite. Oh my god,
Chris, there's more things in life than sports, such as the niche.
Shut the fuck up, Jeff.
The niche.
Ken Griffey Jr. transcends sports. Ken Griffey Jr. is like one of the X-Men. Like he's not human. There's a difference. Michael Jordan, not from this planet. Muhammad Ali, not from this planet. Like he's in that rarefied.
Ken Griffey Jr. is an
icon. Ken Griffey Jr. starred in a video on YouTube with 6,000 views where he answers questions about who John Wick's director was. I don't think so.
Yeah, but Ken Griffey Jr. had the sweetest swing ever in baseball.
No. He still has one of the best swings ever.
Yeah, well, it still has. Yeah, there's nobody. You know who has the ugliest swing? Vlad Guerrero. Remember Vlad Guerrero Sr.?
He was a dog, though.
But that swing was so ugly.
It was successful.
Me and Ken Griffey Jr. used to run around the baseball stadium before games together when we were 10 years old. Well, my dad was an umpire. That's too early. Hold on. No, I was probably 14, 15, and he was probably, I was probably 12, 13. So he's like 4 years older than me. Whatever. He was a little older than me. Ken Griffey Sr. used to bring him to the ballpark. Mm-hmm. And then my dad, who was umping, would bring me to the ballpark. And we just fucking hang out, like, just around a stadium. Like, the best thing about being tied to sports from a career standpoint, being a kid, is you're there so early before the fans come in. And the whole stadium is like fucking Disneyland. You know what I mean? Like you can walk anywhere, you go on the field with shag fly balls, Jesse Barfield's playing catch with me. Like it's just the wildest thing in the world to be. And then it's like everyone off the fucking field. Like, okay, MLB's serious now and get out. And then eventually Griffey turns like 18 and makes $20 million. I'm like, hey man, good for you, bro. Like I'm going to film school in the fall, but whatever you're doing seems to be. So like he'd knock on the umpire's dressing room door with a basketball in his hand. He'd be like, let's go play horse real quick, like before the game and shit. Then we get yelled at by Lou Piniella, like, stop fucking around with Kaiser's kid. You're gonna break your ankle. Like, I love how I was Kaiser's kid, to Lou Piniella. And Griff handed me the basketball. He's like, sorry, Kais, I gotta go. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. There's 48,000 people out there waiting to watch you play baseball. I get it. You gotta go. But I was at his first All-Star game with him, and that was wild. Like, he's one of the greatest guys. Could be the coolest athlete I've ever met.
Whenever I think of someone wearing a backwards hat, he's the first guy that pops into my mind.
He want to see something? Hold on.
Ken Griffey Jr. is an icon, dude.
Dude, he pulled that off so well. I'm like, damn.
Who's the manager for the Brewer? He was.
It's Great Counsel.
Great. Yeah, Great Counsel.
Yeah, the guy that literally was like this.
One of my favorite T-shirts I got. You're gonna love this. Is the home run derby.
Oh wow.
Just like I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
It's Ken Griffey Jr.
That's right, Jeff. I'm gonna take a piss in a minute and you can talk about, Run the Jewels or whatever you kids are into.
Run the Jewels is cool too.
Isn't that the movie by the Safdie brothers?
Wait a minute. No.
Jeff now knows how I feel when he talks about these people in movies. I'm like, I don't know who these are.
I've been living my life.
Uncut Jewels. That's the Safdie brothers.
Nope.
Close enough.
Cool. You're real close.
Benefit of the doubt.
That's a good movie. That's a good movie. Hold on. Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
Very
good
film.
There you go.
And hold on. They're the one with Pattinson. Run all night. All night. What the fuck is it?
All right. So Run All Night is a Yame Colette Serra film with Liam Neeson and Ed Harris.
Wait. Good Time. Good
Time.
Great. That's a phenomenal.
I had no idea what Good Time was when I turned it on and I watched it.
Talk about Cassavetes. Like that's some gritty. Oh my God, I love that movie.
Pattinson in Good Time reminded me of Dog Day Afternoon.
Oh hell yeah, brother.
He is prime 70s Pacino.
Wow, you're putting your audience to sleep. I can see some good, nice quotes coming in. Good for you. I'm glad you came in, Jeff. We're down to 4 viewers. That's great. Fucking Cal's mom, Cal's sister, and Cal's dog are the last three people
John,
watching.
Yeah,
right
don't say Cal's girlfriend, because we all know Cal ain't got no girlfriend. So.
Why the fuck would you say that?
Shook, Jesus.
I got.
You know what, Cal? You don't have to take that shit from a guy who OD'd on gummy bears last night. So you know what I'm saying?
But Kaiser, what are you at my house? How'd you know this?
I got eyes everywhere, pal.
I bet you do. My blood sugar shot up after eating those gummy bears.
Oh, don't mess with that. I'll kill him.
Sorry, Shug snorts insulin for breakfast. He's good.
I do.
Yeah,
you do it.
You and Wilford Brimley. I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
We're
Thanks
noted.
for calling us. Go for it.
Oh, jeez. But Jeff, do you at least know who Ken Griffey Jr. is, Jeff?
No, I know who the fuck he is. I don't pay attention to sports because it's never been my thing, so I don't care.
Noted.
But you know what? But as I said earlier, I'm glad that you do.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you. AC, 6 and That's a good one.
He didn't spell it right, but I know.
I don't pay attention to sports, but I know the Monte Teo story.
If you know pop culture, you know
that's fucking funny.
That's one hell of a reference.
Look at it. It's just that Cal's been gone for like how many weeks now, and so we got to kind of shit. Yeah, we got to kind of shit on him.
I haven't been on Schmoe in the Real at least since July. It's been since July. Because I don't wait. Jeff doesn't know who Ben Simmons is. Hell no. And Jeff's
two things.
A
couple.
First off, there's always room for video, Drew. Someone send her the link.
Jeff,
send the link.
All right,
send the link. Okay.
Okay. Well, since video Drew's gonna come on, let me go get a drink. I'll be right back.
I gotta work in 3 hours.
All right, Jeff. Real quick, your thoughts on the match, just so we can get it out of the way.
I didn't watch it, but I heard about it, and one thing that I can say is that I didn't realize that YouTube allowed murders to be streamed.
No. Yo, that it was definitely a match. And speaking of Nerd Chronic, what's up, Nerd Chronic? Popping up in the chat.
Oh shit, Nerd Chronic, the only professional in the entire Schmoedown is that guy. The only person with
Nerd
talent.
Chronic.
Yeah,
they need to create. I hope this year we have an award for the Nerd Chronic promo of the year.
Stop buttering him up. He's not going to make your birthday
the Nerd
video
Chronic of the year.
I don't care.
Well, you know what? Hey, Kaiser, since it's our commissioner's birthday today, tell us
that?
Harloff,
Chairman.
I didn't know if you meant commissioner of the jerk off show you guys are running here.
Well,
that's me.
That's Chris. Yeah, because that's the only action he gets.
Cal, you're pretty good. Cal, you're pretty good at this. Don't let these guys cut you down.
Thank you, Kaiser. Jeez.
Stop, Kaiser. Stop. Okay. We can't
let him gas me out. Damn it.
No, we can't. We can't do that because then he's going to try to leave.
I think he's had insightful questions. He's on his game. He's sharp. He's interesting. You can have a conversation with the guy. It's like I'm talking to mashed potatoes been left out for 2 days. But go ahead. You had a question. I'm sorry.
No, I just want to it's Harloff's birthday.
Yeah.
Like kind of what's been like your favorite moment with Harloff?
Oh,
in the Schmoedown, or
you know what? The best thing I'd say, if I can go 3 weeks without talking to Harloff or looking at him, that's the best thing. The least amount of communication with Harloff, it's like a vacation because I get calls from on Tuesdays, Friday, No, I kid. I joke. I'll be real with you guys. Since coming into the Schmoedown, I've been freaking ecstatic to be able to hang with this guy again and create stuff. I'm totally pulling back the fucking curtain on this. Like, you gotta realize it's like me and Harloff were both starting our careers in entertainment, whatever that means, films, comedy, at the same time. This idiot's right out of college, and I was fortunate enough to make an impression on the kid because I was nuts that he cast me.
No.
Okay, fair enough.
You still are. Let's be honest.
That he cast me in his little stupid, student film project, and 20 years later, I'm still acting as the same asshole he cast 20 years ago. So it is a blessing. He's a creative force. He's so quick-witted. I've never seen anything like it. Like, he can see every angle, and he's a good pal. And so I'm always been a big fan. I just went and saw his return to the stage in LA after 12 years. I was like, I don't, Christian, it's a long weekend. We got Parker in town. We got this match. And then I'm meeting. He goes, hold on, let me get this straight. You've been telling me for 12 years I got to get back on the stage, and the night I do, you're not going to be there. Like, I felt like I was in a Godfather 2, like he was going to stab me in my kidney with a and so I went, and he was great. And one of my favorite human beings in the world, and a great artist, and he's a pain in the ass at the same time. He's all three of those things. So
a lot of good comments.
Happy birthday.
There is, happy birthday to that guy. But the just qualifier, this is return specifically to the LA stage, because he did
New York,
and a half
right,
ago,
right.
I was there when he did the
that's wild. You got to see it. How was he?
Yeah. So he was good. He did a Q&A, and I commented that I was there, and he's like, oh, how'd I do? So I comment, I'm like, it was very funny. I think that because, it was all like pretty impromptu. He decided that day he was going to do it. Some of the humor came from, some people rely on just if they yell loud enough with a comment, then people laugh. Mm-hmm. Some of that occurred, but the essence was there. Obviously, if there was a little rust, because I've seen him talk and stuff, I didn't know his actual stand-up. Like if there was like an additional act, like if there's something different about his persona on stage, I didn't know that. But I'm just like obviously it's been so long. This is just like the bare minimum things that I can like remember. But I remember being very entertained. It was very funny. And I know that I will be there next week in New York. I get there Thursday. So I'm going to the Mark Ellis show on Thursday. I'm going to the Mark Ellis and Christian show that Friday.
Lucky bastard. I wish to God. Yeah. And I got to see Ellis too, last week. Like, you're going to have a great time. Those guys crush. They're going to slay. They always do. So cheers to you and anybody who gets out to that show. Stand-up is not easy. I don't care if you're look at Eddie Murphy. Like, he ain't just jumping back on a stage. He's like, I'm only going to do this shit if I know I can do this shit. Like,
what's funny is that he had, I believe he signed this like mega million deal with Netflix to do a stand-up special. And then the pandemic hit. And now it's like, who knows? Maybe
hey, look, PLD posted bail. He's in the chat apparently, because I don't think I don't think you can tweet from the Newark County Pen.
I mean, if anybody could, PLD can.
Who bought his ticket so he could go to the show? He ain't got $4.
I'm splitting the Airbnb with him in Brooklyn. It's him.
Really?
It's him and I.
So he's got for sure. So you're splitting the donuts too, because. Get ready. You're going to eat like 18 of them. He's a big donut guy. Me too. Me and PLD have shared multiple donuts. We've gone on.
I assume the reason why he wants donuts is because Kim isn't there, and there's something that Kim.
Listen, the last time PLD was in LA, me and him, I think we ate 14 Bear Claws from 11 a.m. to 11:30. So I think we set the tag team record for the most Bear Claws knocked down. That'd be an interesting team. Me and PLD in the Schmoe would probably win a championship belt year one. If I didn't have to manage and I had PLD as a partner, I think I could win a belt.
PLD knows if he had a partner in the Schmoe,
he would not call on Jeff.
Well, I'd be carrying him. I'd be carrying the guy, of course. But
he knows who his partner would be.
Yes, Ben Bateman. Sure, Ben Bateman. Kaiser, have you ever had Donut Man?
No.
Dude, okay. Donut Man is so good.
What the fuck is that? What's donut?
So it's down the way from my house. It's a donut shop.
Where do you live again? El Salvador?
No, Puerto Rico. Get it right. Come on, man.
Right.
But Colombia.
But they have these donuts like this big with fresh strawberries. There's also apple. There's different. The Tiger Claws are like this big. They're about that long. Yeah. When Spectacular happens, I'm gonna bring you a box. The other thing around here is a ice cream donut, a donut ice cream sandwich. That is dope.
What the hell?
They cut up a fresh hot donut. They put ice cream in it. Your choice of strawberries or Oreo cookies.
The next time anybody ever asks me what's wrong with America, I'm gonna play them back that clip with what you just said.
Yeah, I mean, just thinking about my blood
sugar. Don't need in life, dog.
Yeah, my blood sugar just went up right now because I was talking about it.
Yeah, something like Go eat a can of Campbell's soup and go to work. You know what I mean? Shut up.
I mean, that sounded good to me. I don't know about y'all, but
so Kaiser, are you gonna be able to find Parker in time for Spectacular? Because he is on the run right now.
I wouldn't say on the run. I'd say he's on a boat, bitch. Like he is.
Dude's an international
living a high life.
Man.
He's styling and profiling. He sent me his watch list. He's like, I'm taking the weekend off with a few friends. And the minute I get, of course, I'm saying this in my voice because he doesn't talk like that. But then he sent me the list. He's like, I'm watching this. And if it was on a scroll, it would have hit the ground and rolled out. And this man is on the warpath. It's just more fun when you do it with somebody you love. You know what I'm saying? Like that kid. Me and Smets used to call him Kid Drago. You know what I mean? Year one. That was his nickname. Like, what happens when Kid Drago comes in the league? I don't know. We're going to have to go against him. Blah, blah, blah. Like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And Smets goes, we could draft him. I'm like, ooh, I like the way you think. Drafting Parker was Smets' idea. Like, I like the kid. I was impressed by him. Fan leagues, whole nine. Watched the tape. Smets was like, we should draft him. I'm like, ooh, that's unconventional. I like it. And so here we are. Everywhere we are at today is because Smets said, I think we should draft him. And I think that's a big baller move right there. When guy who's trying to be the best in the fucking division, best in the freaking division, guy who's trying to go out and own it, says we should get this guy on our team. To me, it's one of the most brilliant, ballsy, coolest moves. And so I wish I could take credit for the idea of drafting Parker, but it was all Smets'. I mean, the minute he said it, I'm like, yes, we should do that. Like immediately I was like, in a Gargamel or some shit. Like, yes, let's draft Kid Drago.
And we have another guest, and I'm gonna bring her in, and then I'm gonna talk about something. Yeah, something that I saw at the cantina that a lot of people don't get to see behind the scenes. Well, let's bring in this amazing person. She's just simply awesome. She's a regular here, and everybody loves her, and that is Video Drew.
What? Raise the roof?
Well, oh my God. This is like the Clash came out of retirement and putting on a concert.
Music.
We're gonna learn music together, Drew. We gotta learn. Like, I'm shocked. Like, I'm gonna have to come stay there for 2 days and give you a master class. And I know I could hook you up with like bands I know you would vibe. You of all people, because the way you guys treat movies. I'm a bit of a movie nerd, but I'm a super music nerd. Super.
Music is like okay, I guess. If it's musicals.
We need a music trivia showdown between Kaiser and Alice.
Wasn't that my Stephen King round?
Only questions from Dear Evan Hansen.
Let the record state that nobody's matches are more fun and cool than Kaiser and Video Drew together.
That is absolutely true.
Stop the presses.
Stop the presses. We are the best.
I feel like we are in a Jim Jarmusch film every time we have a match. And it's so liberating because, like, we got our shorthand, and it's so fucking fun. I can't overstate
it's so
that
funny.
enough.
When I watch other people's matches, I'm like, why are there bosses? I guess not bosses. Why are there managers?
Why are there bosses?
I was like, why are there managers like telling them the same thing every time? Like, why aren't they kicking it? Like, I'm just always like surprised because they always say the same thing, and I'm like, why aren't they just like fooling around like me and Kaiser do? I guess the stakes are higher for some people, but honestly, I feel like we have the best banter because it always throws people off guard.
Drew,
I never talk about anything.
Drew, I think that it's because you and I mutually come from that Twin Peaks world. Now you're a bigger Lynch fan as a whole than I. You have a better, understanding of it. Like, I've never seen Dune, for instance, so that makes me a bad person.
Dune, I saw it for the first time this year.
Okay, so I've told you this, and I think I might have said this on shows. To me, Twin Peaks is the coolest anything I've ever seen, whether you want to put it, movie, TV, whatever. Like, my personal favorite thing I've ever digested as a viewer is Twin Peaks. You have
That's
the
so
same.
cool.
You have a similar view. So like when we came together, we knew we would be coming from that place. You know what I mean? And that,
I remember the first time you texted me, I was at Crispin Glover's, or you messaged me on like Facebook message. I was in Crispin Glover's place. Didn't know it was Crispin Glover's place at the time, but it was a very Twin Peaksy like place on the top of the hill in Los Feliz. And you were like trying to be nice, and I was like spitting fire at you because I was still so mad about that first season. When we played the Loose Cannons, and I remember at some point we got on about David Lynch, and I was like, okay, this guy's legitimate.
Well, you were shocked because you just thought I was a big old meathead, and then when you realized
that's what she told us.
What it is. Like when I met her for the first time, it was very funny and almost like John Hughes, 16 Candles. Like, why is the jock talking to the weird chick? And it was very Breakfast Clubby. And then she, like, I could see a twinkle in her eye. She's like, oh, she gets I'm not really an aggressive asshole. I'm just, you know.
I was literally Ali Sheedy Breakfast Club.
I guess that makes me Emilio Estevez. I don't know what that says about me.
Yeah, I think Judd. You get Judd.
I mean, I would rather be. Thank you. That's more of a compliment.
You're Judd Nelson plus Judd Hirsch.
Fair enough. I weigh as much as Judd Hirsch, and I have the attitude of Judd Nelson. But
does Judd Hirsch weigh a lot? Is that like a thing?
Know. He probably does now. He's got to be in his 70s.
Yeah, I don't feel like old people are that fat. But like,
I don't know.
That? I'm older and I'm fat.
I thought all old people
really old people
fat.
aren't fat though. You ever see like a 90-year-old fat person? I don't think so.
Listen, Don Knotts is the skinniest old person I've ever seen, but he's an anomaly.
It's because if you live long enough, like, and you can make it past like a certain age, you're probably already like your heart's in good health, so you're not like morbidly obese. And then I think as you get older, you shrink.
Kaiser, you know what I was watching the other day with Don Knotts? I think it's Don. It's he was in Casino, right? When Pesci is that Don Knotts or no? No.
Don
Rickles?
Oh,
no. That's Rickles. That's Rickles. Never mind. I was thinking of Rickles.
I think the Hole in the Wall gang, I believe, is Don Knotts. You can check.
The Apple Dumpling Gang.
Apple Dumpling. Is that it? True.
He's from Three's Company. He was the downstairs neighbor.
Okay.
Mr. Furley, he was the landlord.
This is why I don't play movie trivia. You know.
But also, he was in Pleasantville. He's the guy who gives them the like little remote.
Wow. Okay. There's a movie I saw once in the theater and never again.
But I wanted to bring this up because Kaiser and Video Drew, you were there too. One of the cool things about watching the Cantina behind the scenes thing is I'm watching the IG match, and on my right I have Smets, Chandru, Rachel Cushing,
all playing along,
and then Rachel and Smets are standing together just in the match, like Rachel's freaking slapping her.
Not for nothing, the three of them were all like.
Yeah, into the match. And if people know, there was another match, IG match that was filmed that day, so that was even better watching that match with them. But like, how does it when you see, obviously where Smets is, doing good. I didn't know he was going to be there. It was awesome hanging out with him. Got to talk to him a lot. But also seeing Rachel there, you see those two who are considered the greats, other than Mike Kalinowski and Mara. Like, how was it having them there at those live tapings?
I'm going to give a Video Drew answer.
You want me to answer? I mean,
no, I'm going to give a Video Drew answer.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Go ahead.
It's also very Lynchian.
Yes. Drew? And do you?
I think that seeing Smets, it's so beautiful because there was so much time, this time last year, and Kaiser knows better than anyone. It was so scary, and we weren't sure if we were ever going to see anyone again. But Smets with his kid and being newly married and getting that diagnosis, it really did feel like this terrible thing that was almost inevitable in a way. And so to see him out and about and hanging out with Rachel and feeling the vibe of everyone together was truly not something.
And not only hanging out, bouncing off the walls.
Yeah, bounce off.
I got that one. I was into it, completely into it. That's
the phrase "new lease on life" is literally created for this man. He's got so much energy. I guess I could even say when I used to see him at tapings, he was always in character as the Smasher. So seeing him be buoyant and be happy and giddy is a kind of new look for seeing Kevin. And it's so it's hard to talk about without crying. It's a really beautiful thing.
Yeah, for sure. It was awesome. I got to talk to him a little bit after. Actually, we were talking outside before his wife picked him up.
How long did he talk to you for? 48 minutes straight with no breaks? Kid didn't take a breath.
We talked.
Did I talk to you? I feel like I did not talk to you, and I feel like I didn't do that on purpose.
No, you said hi to me. You said hi to me,
I didn't like come over and chat. That's rude.
No, you were busy. I don't want to spoil it for people. You were busy.
Oh yeah, right. Oh yeah, right. I forgot.
So Quiz Show fell asleep. Quiz Show fell asleep.
Yeah, he did. He's drunk in his
on that surfboard that he was by.
Yeah. He's surfing right now.
Drew, did you know that I found the time machine?
No.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I did not.
I have a map.
Yeah, let me see. Show it. Oh my God, that's amazing. What's that say?
You know how I know it's real, Drew?
How?
You see Jimi Hendrix's condo?
Yeah.
He lived in Area 52.
Oh, wow.
Right next door.
That far away, huh?
Well, yeah. If anybody knows Hendrix, they know he built a house there before he passed away. But
did you do that with crayon or?
I stole this from Gucci.
You stole? Oh, okay.
He came to me and he
up
says,
on his fridge?
"No,
like his
at his birthday party this week." We were at the birthday party, and I was saying Riff Raff opened up for Billy Ocean.
Nice.
That's a hell of a show.
Shout out to Caribbean Queen.
I don't know if any of the words you're saying are real. It's kind of like watching Adam and Paul, like the movie guys, make references, because I'm never sure if you guys are being serious or joking, or even if the references you're making are to real things, or if you're just making up names.
No, we were at the birthday
That's
party.
for real. Okay.
It was
Riff Raff exists.
Riff Raff opened up for Billy Ocean.
Ron, did I really pretend that we met? Did I? How did I do that? Was I like, oh hey, you again? I don't know.
I don't know. I was kind of been drinking a lot that day.
I mean, me and Beth May were doing crosswords puzzles as we do whenever
that
there's
sounds
a
about
trivia
right
show
for
on.
you guys.
Sorry?
I said that sounds about right for you guys.
I mean, she's so
a couple
great.
cool girls hanging out doing crossword puzzles.
Yeah, during a trivia show.
Yeah.
We were like, what's a type of lipstick color? And it was 4 letters down, and we were like going crazy over it. And it was like U was the second letter, and we were like, what lipstick color has U in it?
True.
Nuts. It's nude.
You need to see this.
I need to see it.
Okay, Paramount back in the day filmed a movie called Once Is Enough.
Is Gucci in this photo?
No, this is fake. This is a team of scientists posing as a film crew. These are the people who figured out time travel. When you follow this map, look at this. Some assholes pretending to be a cinematographer in this thing. Hold on, look at it.
Is this an alternate reality game? What is
I'm telling you, I figured it out, and I dropped a video today where I was from the future, and I saw the dungeon winning the whole thing.
Oh, that I believe.
You got to tune into Let's Get Ready to Be Schmoe Down People, or whatever their show is called. The one I was on before.
You got it. It's Let's Get Ready to Schmoe Down People starting now.
I'm going to drop the video, but Drew, this is something we need to talk about. This isn't how the Lost Colony. There's Sir Walter Raleigh is involved in this shit.
Is that from the past or the future?
This is from Pablo Picasso gave this to Gucci's Uncle John and Anthony. Now, the reason I got this is because I was at the birthday party and Gucci's like, my ancestors found a time machine. I hit him over the head with a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Stole this. Now I got the map. There's no reason he should have that kind of responsibility.
Right. I mean, I agree with you there. Was it a birthday present?
No, this has been in his family for a while, but I just had to get it. Now me and you can figure this thing because we have experience with the Red Room, et cetera, et cetera.
I live in a non-liminal state where time does not actually make a difference.
Also know how I know this is real? Check this out.
Yep.
The Bat Cave, I think, is on there.
Oh, yeah, and I see the watermark.
Now you know it's real.
Now I do know it's real because it has that red dot.
Yeah,
that is how you authenticate stuff.
This is where, listen, the aliens knew about the time travel. Like when they crashed.
Have you read the Twin Peaks compendium book? Like that Twin Peaks, what's it called?
I know what you're talking about. It's an audio book too now. That's what I need. I need to digest it.
So BT dubs, no spoilers, but it turns out like what we think of our aliens and have always thought of as aliens, extraterrestrials, are actually interterrestrials. So they're interdimensional terrestrials.
Well, that's why we have lizard people.
Right. So they're like actually just from like the Red Room or like from the other place, but they're like they appear sometimes like to be over the sky or something because they have no set place or time.
Well, people think lizard people are fake. That's real. There are real lizard people. Like if you think they live was kind of like let's fantasize lizard people, but they really do exist. That's cross alien human breeding.
Yeah, no, I think that's true. I think what people get confused about is like they think like Hillary Clinton's a lizard wearing a human face. No,
might be.
Like that's not it. That's not what they look like.
Possible.
No, because the facial shape is different.
She's got lizard person qualities. Face. Let's not pull punch. I voted for her, but she absolutely has lizard person.
Think about it. Like if you have the shape of an eraserhead baby, like you can't put your head on your head and like have that be normal human shape. So what it is those people are probably working for the lizard people who are like.
I believe that.
Or behind the scenes.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah.
Lizard people are real. I mean, there's photographs of them.
Yeah, there's only photographs.
Sure. You don't have to go on the Joe Rogan podcast to learn about that. I know that guy will interview anybody with a theory. You know what I mean?
Just look at Mark Zuckerberg's Senate hearings and watch how many times he blinks.
There you go.
Tell you.
Oh, he's an alien all day long.
Yeah.
Oh, Facebook, a place for everybody to meet. You mean meet to fucking aggravate each other?
Yeah.
Like, what's the real definition here?
I don't know what's wrong with me or my timeline, but I'm friends with so many people, and not once have I ever read anything inflammatory on Facebook. It's like my Facebook is just like full of weird shit posts about the MTA and Pokemon.
Oh my! As much as I would love to just keep listening to this,
you gotta shut it down.
I have to go to work. No, I have to go to work.
Good.
Sugar and Buck are gonna hold it down, but Kaiser and Video Drew, it's a pleasure seeing y'all. But I gotta bounce.
JFTV,
you already know.
Where are you going?
I gotta go to work.
Okay.
I work at a radio station in Chicago.
What do you work at, a morgue?
He works at a radio station. That's cool. That's cooler than our job.
Don't be doing no weird Kill Bill shit when you get to the morgue, okay?
I'm not. I promise.
It's a morgue / radio station.
Yes, it's a morgue / radio station.
Sounds like
that specializes in lizard people.
Yeah, he interviews dead people about what happens.
Lizard people. Yo, lizard come to your work.
I got the file.
Take your
Drew to work. One last thing. You want to know how this is real?
Take you to work.
Drew, this is crazy. You got to see this. Inside there's a lighter so that you got to burn it. If the government closes in on you, they don't want you to know you got this shit.
If you burn it, see if there's something hidden.
That's why the lighter's inside the envelope.
Oh, I got yogurt all in my face.
I don't know why Lost Colony has anything to do with this.
All right, but I gotta go, y'all.
Now? Did he get stuck like Biff Sal? Bye.
Later, y'all. Peace.
Last time I saw him, I hit him with a bottle over the head. He was unconscious. I stole the map.
I mean, parts of your story you're just repeating in a way that I feel like are kind of believable because, like, if you were telling a cop this story, like, I would believe you. Your story has not changed about the bottle over the head or anything about this lost colony.
All
so I don't know what you're on about, but I love it.
It's true. Everything is true.
It's like, have you seen the movie Under the Silver Lake? Anybody?
No.
So the guy who did It Follows, but it's like Andrew Garfield, and he's like just rambling around Silver Lake, kind of being like a neo-noir kind of thing, but he's just like a hipster without a job and he smells bad. It's sort of like Inherent Vicey. But so inside the movie though, there's all these like cryptographs, like there's all these weird ciphers you can see in the background, but like don't really add up to anything unless you like know how to crack it, because he hired this guy who solved the oldest like unsolvable cipher to be like the cryptologist of this movie. And they have all these clues, some of which translate to stuff, and people have been able to translate some of the stuff, but like none of which leads up.
The dog don't want you talking about this on camera. You need to keep this under your hat.
Basically,
like I can't believe I went and revealed my information. Like maybe the dog's onto something, Drew. Maybe now's not the best
You did that
time.
Willingly, Kaiser. Nobody asked you. So
well, I like to share with those who share with me. You know what I mean? Now, I know there's a lot of dumbasses in the chat, so I'm trying to educate these people.
Look at her. She's so pretty. She's so pretty and fluffy.
Drew, she doesn't want you to talk about this on camera.
But anyway, you guys should all check it out because there's the cool shit in there that I feel like is kind of like what Kaiser's talking about. It is like an alternate reality game.
Thank you.
I'm into it.
Except mine's not a game. Mine's real life.
Well, one can say life is just one long alternate reality game.
This is the proof. This is a fake film crew. These are all real. These are all scientists.
These are all scientists. It looks like the picture from the Village.
Look at this. It's like The Shining.
Why does it have a red ink blot through it? I feel like you got this in the mail. What is this?
Hold on. I'm going to tell you the guy. This guy right here. See that guy right there?
Yeah.
This guy. That's the reincarnation of Sigmund Freud. So
wow.
He found the time travel.
Sigmund Freud did, really.
Yeah.
It's interesting because his field of work seems so antithetical to time travel.
And there's Cindy Williams. Hold on, do you see her?
And I think
Laverne and Shirley and American Graffiti. She was the love interest of Ron Howard in that movie. But these are all scientists.
And it's all fake.
The proof is here. I mean, I don't know what this.
The proof is in the pudding, Kaiser.
It is. But before we get out of here, Kaiser, any bets you would take this weekend for NFL that we should be looking at?
The Ravens.
I personally would take Houston plus 17. I'm sorry. That's
okay.
I hate to let you guys down, but I haven't studied this week. It's been that kind of a fuck all week. But
good girl.
Buffalo probably end up covering. Probably beat the shit out of that team, but I don't bet on Buffalo because I'm
points,
from there.
Kaiser. You really think Buffalo's going to cover 17?
Yeah, I do. I'm from there. That's why I'm not allowed to bet on Buffalo.
I thought you're from New York.
More closer to Buffalo, to be honest with you. Like I'm Bills Mafia trash. That's me.
Trash.
Well.
Congrats again, Kaiser, on punching the second ticket to Spectacular, the first for the dungeon.
You can punch a ticket to time travel for $200 if you send me. If you Venmo me, I'll get you. I'll share the map.
I have wasted enough money the last month. I'm not wasting another $200.
It'll be worth your while.
Kaiser, I feel like you really understood.
Someone told Buck that before, and it wasn't worth his while. So.
True, I talked all about the dungeon winning. When I love it when a plan comes together, and I spoke openly about the vibe of live shows and having Parker in the house is a huge deal. So
yeah, it was great to see.
But Drew, you know me as better than anybody. Is like I look at one, it's over, I'm on to the next one. You know what I mean? Like this is great, love it, celebration, awesome, you kicked ass. Who's next? And we just do this until the season's over.
Yep.
And all we got to do is
and then we get ready for next season. There's no off season for this.
We just got to finish 1 point better than the next team.
Yeah. And then you have to say some silly ass shit.
Which will not be managed by Roxy Stryer. But it'll be something.
Jesus.
Roxy's season ended before it started.
Really? Oh, poor Roxy.
Yeah, Roxy didn't have a great year, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It was a tough year for Roxy Stryer.
It's a tough year for Roxy,
I think a lot of players
Winston. It's a tough year for a lot of people. Hey, I've been there.
Yeah, that was you last year.
I don't need to talk about that. That was not in the contract. Why don't you wrap it up?
All right, everybody, make sure to like this video, follow, hit that subscribe button. We are trying to get to 500 before the end of the year. Make sure to also follow Kaiser, Video Drew, Brandon, and myself on Twitter. Kaiser puts out some great stuff. Video Drew always putting out that great stuff.
Yay!
Video Drew, your channel on YouTube is?
It's Video Drew, but also check out on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get podcasts, a little network called Content Candy. It's like cotton candy.
Oh, look who decided to show back up. I thought you passed out.
I was speaking to my wife, you fucking dick.
Hey, Drew, he sent me another $200, so I guess we got to talk for 10 more minutes.
Oh, who did?
Quiz.
This one? Okay, so I guess
I don't do nothing for free in the dungeon.
But check out Content Candy regardless of whether we're staying on air or not, because we have our new review of Midnight Mass, both a spoiler-free and a spoiler.
I've only watched the first 3 episodes of it. So
if you want to just listen to our spoiler-free version, that's the first half.
It might only be the first 2, maybe the first 3. I don't remember. I think it's 3.
Are things really happy? Then it's like number 3. If things are shit, then it's not number 3.
Things are not happy, but then again, things were never happy from the beginning. So I don't think that's a great indicator.
There's a happy moment in the show that where you're just sort of like, maybe if the show ends here.
I'd say the indicator was the episode I believe that we finished before I went on this trip the other day. Was the one where it had all of the narration from the pastor. And then the surprise, maybe this person died and then suddenly they didn't. And also there's a creature in a cave.
Someone died and then they didn't?
And then there
I'm
was
confused. But anyway, you know who that guy is who plays the pastor? That's Kate Mulligan's best friend's husband, Hamish Linklater. Yes, but I didn't know that.
Hamish is great. All right, we got to the end of episode 3, which I believe is.
I'll take a turkey on Hamish.
Where Pruitt is Hamish. That one. That's where we.
So why'd you call him a pastor? This is interesting because he's very clearly a priest. They refer to him as Monsignor, but Eric, who is Catholic, also did not pick up that this is Catholic.
Well, because I'm not religious by any means. I didn't really go much to church. My mom is Protestant. My dad is Jewish. I don't really know much about any of that. I never really tried to learn of it. I don't really know how to discern it.
But I've
so
seen
that's why I said pastor.
Movies though, like The Exorcist. Like we know what priests are. We know like what they do.
Yeah, but also like I guess it all kind of like blurs together in my mind because it never mattered enough to me.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I think this is a really great show. I thought it was gonna be like an anti-religion
so far,
show.
yeah.
And it's
I gotta promote something.
Go ahead.
I've only got 25 more of these Saul bobblehead dolls left. I got them in my trunk. I can drive them over there, Parker. Somebody will drive. If you could put my Venmo in the chat. I got 25 of these left. I took a bunch of them.
Why do you have them?
I'm just gonna, I got that way. eBay works. So
is that the Travelocity gnome?
No, these are Saul bobbleheads. They were selling them at the cantina that night. There was one
Joseph Boros, I think you're figuring out what the show's about.
There's one other thing I wanted to promote, but I forgot, Drew, so I guess I'll just go.
Well, check out Midnight Mass. That's me promoting it. And then Content Candy is like the new audio channel. And please like and subscribe and rate and review it. And if you do review it, send me a screenshot and I will give you a LinkedIn recommendation to anything you want. I will say you're good at whatever you want to be said you're good at on LinkedIn.
That is an interesting
there you go. Do it. All right, you guys have a good night. Be safe. And we will talk to you later.
Bye, guys.